Oh, wait. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. There we go. Okay. I was a little worried because.
I'm still trying to find what's going on. It's a bit. I get there. I get there. I get there. Oh
So,
my goodness.
um, so we took last week off because last Sunday was my birthday. So I wanted to celebrate, my birthday for myself. And in that time period of last week and this week, we got a flood of news in the gaming world, and it's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I was like, okay, guys, we're getting a little too much. We're getting a little too much. You know,
News here,
news going
and
on.
it just kept on coming.
It just wouldn't stop. There's like so many updates. There's like so much stuff going on. It was crazy. But let's start with what's going on in the title. Expedition 33 has sold 2 million copies. And everyone's like, okay, yeah, it's just 2 million copies. So AAA games have also done that. Fair enough. They sold 2 million copies within 12 days of release. 12 days. That's
It's
insanity.
it's really good, basically.
Yeah, like, that's. We've never seen such a blowout except maybe was it Baldur's Gate 3. Like I've never seen such a huge reception for a game before from an indie studio. And might I add, this is a studio with only 33 developers. Only 33. Yet they made a game
But
so popular.
how is that possible? I've listened to EA and Ubisoft. You need thousands and thousands of employees to make a single game. This is ridiculous. Oh my, how is this possible? I say in jest.
It just goes to show how unnecessary the AAA industry has become, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, how
oversaturated,
I yeah,
overblown.
it's things are overdeveloped, right? Like it's overdeveloped. You have so many positions and so many people that don't really need to be there. You're complicating stuff. I have friends who are still developing for some pretty big companies, and they say that they'll spend like out of a week, like out of a 44-hour work week, like maybe 20 hours is taken up by them listening to somebody berate them essentially for like design decisions, when those design decisions are coming from things that it's really just a matter of like, you know it's not even a matter of taste or style. It's just like it's things that don't need to like really be focused on. Like they're sitting in like big groups and being lectured to by somebody about something that they don't even know what they don't even know what the meeting's about. They're talking about how like color palettes can be dismissive to certain uh, ideological bents. It's like a color palette is a color palette. Like you can't change the number of colors in a rainbow. Like they're not even talking about like the names of them, because there's supposedly there's some names of colors that people don't like or whatever.
Ugh.
But it's like that's what's consuming all of this time. That and redesign, like going over something over and over and over again, not to make it better or to improve it, but just because somebody in the higher ups wants to see a different version of the same thing 15 different times. It's like that. And again, it's like you might think we heard this when it came to CDPR. We heard this a lot. Like, oh yeah, we redesigned the wheel because we have to redesign the wheel to make sure that it works. It's like that didn't really work out for them when they said that at that particular moment in time. Um, but it's more than that. It's all of the other scenarios and situations in which you're, you know, where you're obstructing the goal, where you're moving the goalpost. You're like, oh, let's do this here. Oh, I changed my mind. I want the game to feel more like a racing game. Why? Because I just played a racing game on the weekend and it was really cool. The next week they're like, oh, we should have more RPG elements. Why? Because he just played an RPG game and he can't make up his mind because he doesn't know what he's doing. It's like that kind of stuff. And there are some really good movements. I'll say this, being the insider that I am with Blizzard. Um, World of Warcraft is releasing its player housing, and it is pretty awesome. Like really awesome. Like here we have a 20-year-old plus game that is coming out with the most advanced, fully fleshed out, in-depth, extremely complex yet simplistic to use housing system that has ever been implemented into anything like an MMO, essentially. And you've got this amazing work being done. And how can they create thousands and thousands? Because there literally are thousands of pieces of items that you could put in your houses now. And you ask, like, how can they do that? Well, they have a big team. Well, you know, isn't that bad? It's like not always, because that team, and trust me, for many, for like a decade, this team was like never funded enough, treated like garbage, had a lot of dumb people running it. But now that they're actually like, I would say that they're probably in the best form they've ever been, and they're getting better. Suddenly, when you're like, hey, can we have 1,000 items added to like these housing builds so that people could build whatever they want, whether it's like a their own internal dungeon, a
I am
drinking
so
puzzle.
sorry. I'm so sorry, Sam. I just realized. I just realized
Oh
that the
no.
audio was turned down. You weren't muted, but you were just turned
Oh,
down a lot.
okay.
I'm so
Okay. Just
sorry.
very quiet. I.
I'm so sorry. My bad. Sorry. I just noticed
Oh,
that. I'm sorry.
okay. So yeah.
Thank you,
We
SoCal
got ahead of
Sam.
the ship there.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
redeems.
So yeah, it's um so as I was saying, it's like why are we seeing the problems that we see with these big studios when they're pumping out garbage versus smaller studios? Basically, to make a long story short, haha, too late. Basically, it just boils down to how you have your teams focused. You have teams that like the new, and I really have to like preface this. The new Blizzard is is essentially a new team. Like they did kind of like clear out people, and then they've kind of really rehired under Metson's goals and under his like tutelage. They're heading in a new direction, and it is better. It is far better than what was there before. And so yeah, we do have this. We are seeing this. It's slowly starting to creep up, but yeah, are you? Did you just have a bunch of stuff thrown against your character?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. But yeah, like all these
Oops.
things, we're moving towards these studios that know how to use the manpower, and I would say like the new Blizzard is definitely that, where they're actually like moving forward. They're actually creating tons of new content. They're able to do stuff really fast. All of this stuff is now doing great, and they're now moving ahead and acting like a company that they should have been like a decade ago. Then you've got Ubisoft that doesn't know what they're doing. Like they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. They can't make up their mind from one week to the next, and they're doing things that are like in like just that are just horrendous still to this day. I'm absolutely floored by the amount of stupidity coming out of Ubisoft. But yeah, that's what's going on.
No,
So,
I mean, speaking of Ubisoft, on the other hand, might I add that Claire Obscura Expedition 33 has not even been out that long, and they're seeing significant growth over time. And that's what
mhm.
I'm emphasizing this for a reason. It's selling more over time. On the other
Yeah,
hand, there's Ubisoft.
same thing with Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate
it ended
sold
up
really good in its opening week, but then it up selling more in its next
It's
release.
it's sold 20 million copies. 20 million copies within 2 years. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Especially for an indie game, that's incredible. And then on the other hand, you have Ubisoft, which their financial reports came in, and during the call with the
It was bad.
shareholders, the
It
share
was bad.
the shareholders were like, "So how many units were sold?" And the representative of Ubisoft said, "We can't. We're not allowed to disclose units sold."
Everything is on fire. Everything is on fire.
So you don't want to say how many units were sold on a very public, very recorded call with your shareholders. Okay. That's fine because there's other ways to also document very publicly and very online traily your was it uh reported units sold. So apparently they didn't, okay, I just want to point this out. They didn't sell that many copies on Xbox. And everyone's saying, "Oh, cuz of Game Pass and stuff." They did not sell as many as they expected, to the point where it was such a low number, they didn't record the actual number because it was so low.
Yeah.
That's really bad. Like the number was so low on Xbox that it wasn't feasible to record it because it was so low. So I'm assuming not even like maybe a couple hundred, maybe. And that's just me being generous. I'd be so surprised if it, like it'd be kind of funny if it was like 20 units were sold on Xbox. That'd be a little hilarious. But it was apparently it was just enough not to even record how many was sold on Xbox. But that was like the least amount. What about Steam? How much did they sell on Steam? They sold. I kind of got the numbers mixed up. What was the second least sold? Was it on Steam or was it on PlayStation? I think it was Steam, right? With only
Yeah,
like
I think it was Steam.
with like three
There's
hundred
there's a lot of
thousand
there's a lot
sold
of Ubisoft fanboys that are on PlayStation.
PlayStation. Yeah,
And that's not me. That's not me insulting PlayStation. That's not me insulting PlayStation. That's just me saying that there's a lot of like diehard like um, fan supporters of Ubisoft that congregate in a particular area. I'm not saying that that's their fault. That's just that's just the way it is, right?
yeah,
And that's mostly due to the fact that Ubisoft has always favored, more or less favored PlayStation, and so that's why you have that. Again, that's a microcosm, so it's not anything bigger. I'm just saying it's like you're always going to sell more on PlayStation than you are on Xbox.
yeah. I mean, fair enough. Now, and don't get me wrong, they sold, was it 1 million or 2 million? They sold 1 million or 2 million on PlayStation. So it was just a roughly around maybe like just under 3 million that they sold copies, which is funny because a lot of news outlets were going around saying that they sold 3 million copies of Assassin's Creed Shadow. And you would think it would be 3 million copies day one. But the difference between Claire Obscura selling 2 million copies and Assassin's Creed Shadows selling like less than 3 million copies. Claire Obscura sold 2 million copies within 12 days of launch, and it's rising. The units are rising. Assassin's Creed Shadow sold less than 3 million units within 2 months. 2 months, and it has seen steady decline since whatever peak of sales that it got. That's not good. Meaning, Claire Obscura is more likely to be a Baldur's Gate 3 and seeing 20 million unit copies sold within the first 2 years of its life expectancy, while
Hmm.
the peak of Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be and will forever stay around 3 million and never reach any peak beyond that. That's what that means. Don't get me wrong, it could sell more. It could, like, the most I can see Assassin's Creed Shadows getting is probably 5 million at the most. But like I said, I feel like Clair Obscura has more expectancy to get a 20 million copy record over the next coming years because of how much of a great game it is, and everyone's just going crazy over it. And a lot of people are going to be like, why'd you put in the thumbnail, they lied to us? Okay, so apparently I didn't know this because I'm an RPG fan, but I'm not a turn-based
Turn-based.
game player. Like, it's not like JRPGs have a lot of turn-based mechanics in their games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, Baldur's Gate 3 is also turn-based, but I feel like that's a little different than what I'm talking about. We're talking about, I don't know if anyone's ever played Final
The
Fantasy.
traditional lineup. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Final Fantasy traditional lineup, which to be fair didn't start with Final Fantasy. There were
I
other games that did
Yeah, I
that
know.
first.
It just Final Fantasy was
Yeah.
is like the most popular
Yeah, it's
franchise.
the most popular one. Yeah.
But like so for the longest time they said it was impossible. Apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently turn-based games were getting the same treatment as RPG games, like single player games, sorry, not RPG. Single player games were getting, where they're like, "Oh, no one's to play turn-based anymore. It's going to be
Yeah.
so hard to enhance the graphics. It's going to be so hard technology-wise. Oh, it's going to be so hard to implement turn-based. No one is interested in turn-based gameplay, guys." And then
Absolute losers who have no conception about what people want.
and
Like, just wow. Ugh.
and I like how they say that, and then Final Fantasy VII comes out, the remake, and I don't I don't know. I haven't really played the game, but I know it still has turn-based mechanics to it, right? Or did they change the mechanics of it? I assume it was
No,
still
they're
turn-based.
no, I think that one is more action based. I don't know. I didn't play it. I wish Max was here because yeah, I didn't play it.
Mm.
Um, and I don't like that. Like if you wanted to make of I don't like. I think that when you have a genre that kind of follows something, it's like you always got to keep that in there somewhere. It's like yeah, Fallout was turn based originally, isometric view, and that's changed a lot, but they've kept elements of that in there. I don't necessarily like the idea of video games walking away from their past. Like it sort of doesn't work for me.
It's also frustrating because was it company execs are trying to tell the customers, dang it, I had it and now I'm just getting a brain fart of what I was trying to say.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, they've been
they're trying to
trying.
dictate what gamers want, and it's like
Yes, yeah,
gamers want turn-based and they want good, obviously good graphics, good gameplay, but also good story, good characterization. And then game companies come out and they're like, "No, you don't want that. In fact, actually,
yeah.
let's do extraction shooter slop number 77. I'm sure you're more interested in that, right?" And it's like, "No, we want Clair Obscura. We want Clair Obscura. We want Expedition 33." It just
It's
baffles
it.
me. It just baffles it never ceases to amaze me how much AAA studios are so allergic to money, like making money. They're just allergic to it because they just refuse to listen to players. They're like, "No, we know the trends. We know what you want." And it's like, you're not a gamer. You don't play games. You don't know what we want. We know what we want. You don't know what we want, apparently. Like, it's it never ceases to amaze me. I swear every week when we turn on the podcast, it just astounds me just remembering how much gaming studios just don't understand anything that their own customer base even like wants. Like did you I don't know if you saw there was like one developer who made like a YouTube video who was like devs don't know what you want. They don't know because was it he was making a straw man argument in my opinion because he was making because like gamers are so fickle. We never can decide on
Yeah,
what we want because
this
everyone
yeah, I
wants
know.
something, but it's like everyone's always different. Like some people want turn based, some people like RPGs, some people like action. And it's like that is that is so freaking disingenuous because he's just
So
lumping
I
it
know
all
who
in.
you're. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's one of the original developer. He was the original like lead dev behind the first Fallout game. And he is wrong a lot. Like he's genuinely like so he's wrong a lot, but not always. When I say that, I don't mean it like he's dead wrong. He's stupid. He's not. No, he misses certain things. So like one of the things he did is he walked away from making the next Fallout game because he made number one and then that was it. That's all he wanted to do. He didn't want to go back to the universe. So a different person had to come in and take over Fallout and make Fallout 2. And this is sort of like how some creative types are is like they want to have a singular experience creating a product and then they want to sell the product and then that's it. And he's sort of right in the sense when he says like I understand what he's getting for when he goes players don't know what they want. But that's true in only like a certain aspect of things. People want good gameplay and they actually do want games that are familiar to them. So when he says, "Oh, people don't know what they want," it's like, no, that's not true because everybody does enjoy a really good turn-based game. I'm playing turn-based games today that were made in the last couple of months that have. I mean, Expedition 33 is a great example of this, where the market as a whole came to an understanding that said, "Oh, people don't want turn-based games anymore. They're the old kind of game. They belong in the relic bin with games like Pac-Man and Basic Mario." It's like, well, both of those games are actually still fairly popular, you absolute git. And this is where he and a bunch of other developers have really really failed. And that is that they assume that when they have an analyst who comes in and tells them, "Oh, hey, you should be focusing on this, and this," that analyst knows WTF what he's talking about, where in most cases he does not. I and I have been harping on this for I don't know how many years in the show in the podcast, where it's like again and again and again the analysts get it wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what people want. They have no understanding. In a lot of cases, they are straight up guessing. They are literally flipping coins to see where the market trend is going to go because nobody can predict the market. So flipping a coin in there are certain experiments where you could flip a coin when making market decisions and that coin flip will actually be better than the educated guesses that people put into it. And why? Because the market is kind of crazy like that. So you go, well, doesn't that mean that that your argument is incorrect? That you're actually it's actually the other way around. It's like we technically have more of a you know like they're right. We don't know what we want. It's like no, that's not true because the 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 market there are basic trends that you can always follow. Here's a trend that will shock you. For the next 50 years, people will continue to buy food. Did you know that? That is one hot thing I can promise. I could promise you, from now to the end of probably the next century, people are still going to be buying food. It's shocking. I'm crazy. I'm a genius. You know, that's the system that is ignored by some of these analysts when they come in and they go, "Oh, people don't like this game anymore." Why? Well, because to them they think it's old, they think it's retro, so retro is out. So until it comes back in some kind of a wave thingy, it's out. You got to kick it to the curb. And when you look at it, and when you really look at it, and this is what killed Interplay, and I have my issues with Interplay and how they died, and all the many hands that had their that were in that whole like screwing up that situation. Interplay died because people convinced Interplay and a lot of other studios at the time that two-dimensional graphics were out, that three-dimensional graphics were the only way to make video games in the future. If you were going to launch a game that had 2D graphics, flat plane graphics, so like a Fallout 3, in the style of Fallout 1 and 2, that you would not sell a single copy of that game. You would be laughed out of the industry. Why did the analysts all say this? Because they went to a trade show where somebody told them this and then they just repeated it verbatim. The guy who told them that, one of the guys that was pioneering three-dimensional graphics at the time. So you really have like these absolute idiots who don't know what they're doing, walking around claiming things that they have no conception of to try and push ideas that they're not even connected into. I don't know a single games analyst who actually plays video games aside from myself. I have never met one who actually plays video games. They're all garbage. Don't listen to them ever. Oh, they're terrible. Yeah.
Hi, Scythe. Welcome in. Uh, it's just, yeah. Uh, I totally forgot what we were talking about. Uh, I'm sorry. I need caffeine.
The overall the overall where the game industry is heading basically.
I
It's like, and
mean,
that's the big thing.
people have been talking about a gaming crash for a while now, and with the price wars going on, which people are starting to wake up to, I want to point out the fact that I was calling for a pricing war way before other people started, saying that. I just want to point it out. But people are starting to wake up that now there's going to be a price war because was it oh God, what was it? Someone said that something was going to be priced at 100, and I think it was like an Xbox game. It was like eight, like
Mm.
I forgot what it was. It slips my mind. It probably wasn't important if I couldn't remember what it was. But Xbox was throwing down the gauntlet to like doing, $80 games and stuff. But then Mafia, the Old Country, a newer AAA game that's coming out is going to be allegedly, rumors are is that it's going to be priced at $50. And so people are starting to wake up that there's things are freaking changing, and if they don't change for the better, if AAA industry doesn't catch on to the newest trend of having cheap games, they're gonna be left behind. They're gonna be left behind because ain't no way people are gonna play $100 games. Don't get me wrong. There are people out there willing to shell out $200 for like pre-orders to play games. Just not every gamer in existence will do that. Only a certain 1% are willing to do that. Uh,
Yeah.
that's as much. That's as far as I'm gonna go with that until it somehow, most likely, also gonna re-pop up back into the conversation again because I have a tendency to do that sometimes. But on a different note, Starbreeze enters into agreement regarding the publishing rights for Payday 3 and carries out a directed share issue of Class B shares amounting to SEC $33 million is what I assume. So if you're interested in Payday 3, apparently there was a lot of stuff going on with Payday 3. I forgot. Wait, what studio was Payday 3 under? Was it Microsoft? I know,
Uh,
or was it
Publisher?
Sony? I guess.
No, I can't remember.
Payday 3 apparently had a big fan base. I forgot where they came from originally, but apparently they stopped server access for that game, and
Yeah,
then people were
I'm
mad
pretty sure
about
it was
it.
pretty sure that was Xbox where it was originally like in. I could be wrong though.
Am I getting my actually? Yeah, let's forget what I said because I am totally brain farting over what Payday 3 is. I don't know if I'm pretty sure Payday 3 is still getting supported actually. Was it Payday 2 or was it Payday 1 that like lost support and then people got mad
I'm
about
pretty
it?
sure it's one of them. I can't remember if it's one or two. But yeah, it's a huge problem. Obviously, when you have games that are like going the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah, game preservation and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But apparently the was it the publishing rights for Payday 3 is being fought over, so that's happening if you're curious about that.
Hmm.
Uh
and
sorry, go ahead.
and well, I don't like it when any game kind of gets like screwed over like that. That's not cool. So and that kind of sucks, obviously. So hopefully they find a solution for that somewhere.
Yeah. We're rooting for you guys. Even though I don't play games, like we're rooting for you. Apparently Grand Theft Auto 6 released a second trailer. And I watched it and it was really freaking good. I got confused because the guy shown in the trailer in the first like minute or so didn't look like the guy in the original trailer and I got confused. I was like, is this a different character? No, apparently Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to follow Grand Theft Auto 4 in the fact that you can change the character's appearance over time. So like his hair can grow out, you can change his hairstyle, you can like get him to
Oh my
work
goodness.
out and he'll get like really
They,
freaking buff.
they
Like,
made they made Fable 1 mechanics.
yep.
What?
Yep.
That's
And yeah,
okay. All right.
everyone's going
That's
everyone's
cool.
going crazy over
Hmm.
the trailer. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's really good. Apparently there's a lot of people dissecting every single shot of the trailer. And honestly, they're showing images I've never seen. I haven't seen in the trailer, so I don't know if it went by really fast or if it was like, was it promotional images they released with the trailer? Was like also like showing different characters and stuff like that. But yeah, uh, check it out. Let's see. Oh yeah, Polygon apparently is like, isn't Polygon like shutting down or something? They're losing a
Yep.
lot of people.
Yeah, they're basically dead now. Couldn't
Mm-hmm.
have happened to a nicer group of dicks.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of people. So a couple of weeks ago, someone said I was being too harsh on gaming journalists. And I had time to reflect on that, and I was like, you're right. Because I said that most gaming journalists hate gamers. And I was like, you know what? That they're right. I wasn't fair. It wasn't fair of me to say that. Some gaming journalists hate gamers. It's just that apparently, was it allegedly, uh, gaming journos companies, uh, an insider journalist said that these journalist companies force them to write political stuff. Like they don't want to write like garbage news articles pertaining to like the newest war that's going on right now, which side you're on, which political party you're supposed to support. Like they don't want to talk about that, but apparently the companies are forcing them to write about that. So that was interesting to find out. So yeah, Polygon and I don't know, Kotaku, like a lot of gaming journos outlets are really feeling the burn uh with losing people and losing money and funding and stuff. Oh yeah, wasn't it proven that like was it the government was funding most of these.
The government was definitely funding some of the of this, what you want to call it, like the aggressive like politicalization of video games. They definitely were doing that, and that was kind of like a big watershed moment as far as like,
Yeah, and then
yeah, we're being taken advantage of here. Like the industry is being used as a patsy for American politics, which is
and lo and behold, once the government stop whatever uh was it financial was it USAID
financially assisting. Yeah, it was
financial
through USAID.
assistant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
once the government stopped the money flow to all these useless funding that we're wasting taxpayer spending on, now Polygon and Kotaku and all the other outlets are starting to struggle. All of a sudden, a weird coincidence. Uh,
Shocker.
is weird. It's weird. Moving on. Apparently, Star Citizen. Okay, Star Citizen. Uh, it's a game that a lot of people, for those of you who don't know, Star Citizen has been a game that's been around for almost what, 10, am I being too dramatic saying almost 10 years? It's
I
been a
do
while.
believe it's been over a decade of they're working on it. They're working on it, guys. We're only at the 10th year. It's only been a decade since it's been in early access. They're gonna get it's one day. It's gonna be the best game you'll ever play. Yeah, one day it'll get there. One day you just got to keep hoping, man. I mean, yes, the graphics are now looking dated because it's been in development for over a decade. Um, but yeah, it's good. It's gonna get there, guys. Don't you worry, guys. We're not being taken advantage of. We're not being taken advantage of. This is completely normal. Every game has obviously a decade worth of time being put into it. I hate the bros behind this. It is so garbage. Any game that has taken over a decade to get out is not it's not going to be it's this is garbage. This is absolute garbage. I'm sorry, Star Citizen. They could have released 6 7 years ago with a basic model, but they keep shooting for the moon. I don't even think they're capable of completing everything that they've now promised. I really don't think it's there. A lot of their early design ships that they sold as collector items and yeah, buy now, you buy into the system and you get this ship. And this ship is the most awesome ship in the universe and it's so cool. But they've now come out with features where those older ship designs aren't caught up with those features for the new release, and they're just it's like a treadmill that keeps getting faster and faster and faster. And it's like I don't think they're ever going to be able to make this work. I really don't. I hate being a downer because I grew up on Wing Commander and then on the trading game version of the Wing Commander series, which I can't remember what it's called. Um, but it's like yeah, I grew up on those games. I really like them. They're really cool. I was a kid when I was starting to play them. Um, but you just have to at some point you have to admit that this is a gong show. Like this is a serious gong show at this point. And it's you're being used. Like come on, wake up, smell the coffee.
Yeah.
Like these guys have been funding their bank accounts with these games for a very long time, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it to keep going, oh, someday we're gonna get this someday, guys. You just gotta keep believing. You just gotta keep believing. Eventually it's gonna get out. It's what garbage.
Hello, Leon D. First time chatter. Oh my God, is that the Madam Herda? I want you to know that I looked like this before Star Rail was it Star Rail
Yeah,
came out?
she did.
I've
Yep.
already looked like this for a whole year before Star Rail even came out. So I'm just saying maybe they took my design. I'm just saying maybe I don't know. We'll see. Hello, Lazy Clay Gamer. Welcome in. Hello, everyone. What did I miss? We were talking about how Claire Obscura outperforms Assassin's Creed Shadow within 12 days. Uh, also, is Sai president of Nintendo yet? Look, Lazy Clay
I
Gamer,
wish.
you can't. I know you're trying to get one of us to be the new found. Oh, well, I can't say new founder. The lead of Sony, but I don't know. Keep wishing it might come true one day. Before I forget, like the lazy idiot that I am. Oh, sorry. He was saying, "How are you doing?" Honestly, Star Citizen feels like a game published by Mammoth, the the sin that represents greed. Oh, yeah. So when it comes to Star
This is
Citizen,
true.
apparently $800 million has been raised for Star
Hmm.
Citizen within the 10 years or so that it's been in early access. 800 million. What a dedicated fan base. And then the creators come out to say, well, guys, we might need some more support because we're running out of money. Oh, oh. You had 800 million dollars over 10 years of early access, and suddenly you're running out of money. Oh boy. This is great. How great, how grand. Oh god, you just love to see it. I love karma biting people in the ass, you know? That's what I love to see. I love to see that. So now they're struggling, and people are wondering, where did the 800 million go? And I think they actually did release where their money went. And I think that mayhaps some of that money allegedly went to not producing the game. That's a shocker to probably say and for people to
Oh
realize.
my! Say it's not so.
But I don't think it went into developing the game. Because it's been 10 years or more than that, and the game's still in early access after it's been 10 years, and they haven't released the game, and they've already raised over $800 million. It's just, yeah. You love, and not only that, they're really actually starting to piss players off. Now you now that's actually kind of surprising because the Star Citizen community is actually
They're rabid. They
there's
are rabid.
they're like masochists, okay? In my opinion, I think they're like pure masochists because this game has not been out for 10 years and they still shell out money for it.
It's
But
not that they just shell out money
it's like
for it. It's that
no, they just all they do is just shell out money for it. They're like, "Oh my god, this is so cute." And then it's like, "Just take my money." Over 10 years, side. Anyway,
hmm
but what I'm trying to say is that like
I've been complaining about it for a long time. Don't you preach it to the choir?
it's like what could have like at this point Star Citizen could not do wrong in the eyes of the Star Citizen community. So what
No.
is it that is pissing people off? What could they have possibly done to piss off people? Well, they were very was it? They were promoting a new ship. Oh boy, a new ship. Everyone was so excited. Um but it costs
Can't
a
fly
lot
around
of
in any of
money.
the current ships.
It costs a lot of money. In fact, it costs way more than any of the other ships. In fact, it costs an absurd amount. And I don't want to give an actual price because I legit forgot. But I think it was, and don't think I'm exaggerating. I don't think I'm exaggerating because I think it could either be around 500 to 1500 this ship being. Now, you'll be like, "Reaver, that's ridiculous. Who would pay that much for a ship?" That's actually what the community's asking. They're like 500, 1500 for this ship, and then apparently it doesn't like you need a bunch of people in order to pilot it, and I'm guessing that's a bad thing, or there's not something about the crew size like really ticked people off. Either you need a lot of people to pilot the ship, or you can only do it with a few people, and that pissed people off. I don't know. Something about I don't play Star Citizen, guys. All I knew was that it was a scam, so I didn't really pay much into it. But now that I'm doing a news podcast, I'm paying somewhat attention to it. But there was it. The crew size was pissing people off. you have to
Mm-hmm.
pay like it to upgrade the ship. You have to pay for individual little parts of the ship, and it's such a big ship that like paying for like individual little parts for the ship is going to cost over $1,000 just to enhance the ship. And it's like, what did you expect was going to happen when you have a game studio that squeezes you for every ounce of money that you have? And it's like, this is what makes you mad? like out of every Star Citizen community, this is what makes you mad, is that they start nickel and diming you for everything. That was the breaking point, when they've already kind of nickel and dimed you up until this point. They're like, yeah, we had to pay for things, but it wasn't this bad. It's like, what did you think that they were going to do? Like, why are you surprised is what I'm saying. Like, you let this game studio take you for a ride, and you were fine with paying for everything. And they're like, well, dude, I bet it was. Do you know what I think it was? I think they were trying to convince themselves that it wasn't as bad as other AAA studios. AAA studios nickel and dime. They put microtransactions and everything. They don't shove it in. Star Citizen doesn't shove it in your face. Like, yeah, you have to buy things here and there, but it's an early access. We're supporting the devs so that they can, get the game out there for 10 years. Yay, you did it for 10 years. Raised over 800 million over 10 years. Getting up very close to $1 billion, I'm just saying. And it's still not out yet. It's still in early access. Don't worry, guys, we're working on it. Yeah, as Saib said. But like,
Mm-hmm.
this was the breaking point. This, like, I don't know. It's just,
Was it the first 100 grand that you guys spent on the game, or the second 100 grand that you spent on the game? I mean, come
yeah.
on.
Oh, sorry, Scythe, I forgot about that
So
reading.
so
Woo
stupid.
woo.
I
Don't,
Ooh.
don't say anything about that. Anyways, moving on. Even if Star Citizen reached $1 or $2 billion, I bet all the money in the world that the game still won't be officially released to the public. Yeah, I'm starting to think that too. It's getting a little ridiculous. Is getting ridiculous. I'm just surprised that the Star Citizen community just suddenly got mad. Because at this,
Mm-hmm.
they seemed content to constantly shill out money for Star Citizen. So I left that alone. I was like, that seems like a scam. But if they're fine doing that, and Star Citizen at this point didn't really do anything egregious, I was like, live and let live. If they're happy to do that, whatever. But yeah, I'm just surprised that they got mad, because it just seemed like they would never get mad at Star Citizen. But that's all I'm saying. That's the new report of Star Citizen. I don't know if this is gonna affect their funds later down the line. I don't know if their pay pigs are gonna keep paying them, but we'll see.
Pay pigs.
What? That's what they.
It's so true. It's so true. It's like some kind of kink at this point. I don't know, man. This is
That's why I
like
said masochist. I think there's like legit
I
masochists.
I I could have again, I could have done better. I like some people are like, stop bragging. It's like, no, no, no. No, you take the concept that they had initially and you put it into a very sparsely populated um, solar system that mostly just has asteroids, no planets, nothing big, just a bunch of it's just a mining location, right? Like that's all that's going on here, and it's fine. It's like it's just part of like the ecosystem, and that's where you fly around. That's where you get all your tests in. That's where you start to build it up to actually have playable gameplay that is in the direction that they want to go in. It's like that's all they have to do. That's all they got to do is just do that. Just make something that people can play on a smaller scale and then start to go up. But I guess that wasn't, I guess actually making an actual viable product wasn't what they were interested in. What they were interested in was making a viable product, that they could just continue to not making a viable product, making a product that they could sell to people over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I know a guy in the games industry who spent like 200 grand on this game. Like
200 grand?
and again, it's just like, what are you buying? What are you like? I get whales in games that spend like a grand on something. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like you have something that you can dominate the the tournaments and that kind of stuff because it's a pay to win game. It's like I get that. That makes sense to me. Explain this where you don't even get to play this thing. You get these collectorships that are just like, they just sit in a virtual space that you don't, in many cases, you don't even have access to, and you just stare at them. It's like, oh, for crying out loud, like please just, and say what you want, but at least in some other games that are out there, you can actually craft your own ship.
Good
Like,
lord.
it's just it makes no sense. And again, they don't have anything playable. They don't have anything that you can actually do anything with. You've got this like, yeah, you've got this weird thing where you can like go around and you make as much money as you want, you know, doing these gameplay things that aren't actually gameplay. This is just it's so much fake garbage that it's I don't know, it's like, yeah, you can do stuff in the game, but that stuff doesn't like, it doesn't really have a lot of meaning attached to it. And maybe that's what these guys wanted. Maybe they just want the sandbox game that just, does nothing, that they do nothing with, that they just sit there and go like, whatever. And it's just a weird like sandbox thing that it's not like Minecraft where you can actually build something. You just fly around and you pretend to look cool. Oh, that's what it is. I just realized that's what it is. We're basically this is a bunch of middle-aged guys with way too much money to burn that are sitting on like really expensive like motorbikes that they've made it so that they're really really loud so that they can drive around and think that everybody thinks they're cool. Oh my goodness, it's South Park and that's what it's going on. Oh,
Goodness gracious. I didn't realize
so
how
funny.
bad it was. I've never played Star Citizen and I don't keep a track of it. I didn't realize how bad it was. Uh,
Well, yeah, I would say that just generally speaking, um, that's more or less what the game is right now. It's just a sandbox piece of garbage. And again, it's like again, what would I have done? I would have created an MMO where the first, location is this like very like limited access. There's lots of asteroid mining, there's some pirates, there's lots of space stuff, and you get a gameplay that works. And then you expand on it from there. You make it like better, you make it like more interesting, you make it more like, you build it out, you focus it up. Like that's what they should have done. It's like, yeah, I know I'm probably crazy asking for something so simplistic as, something that they can actually do and create and, whatever. It's like, yeah, dumb me, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think overall, I think this has been a giant like joke essentially,
yeah.
and that they are taking advantage. 100%, they're taking advantage of people who aren't good with money. They're not good with money.
Yeah.
That's
Like no
how it
like
goes.
have horrible impulse control or like they have like a
I
really strong
I
impulse.
would I would say probably somewhere in there. Yeah, it's probably the impulse control thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I don't want to deride them too much, but it's like, yeah, it is a joke at this point. Like we are looking at a joke. I'm sorry to, I don't want to be overly rude, but this is like, let's face it, this is kind of
It's been 10
you guys are
years.
kind of getting taken. Yeah, it's been 10 years. You guys are getting taken advantage of. This is a joke. Like this is a really messed up joke. So
Lazy
yeah,
Lazy Clay Gamer said even if Star Citizen, oh sorry, I reread that. Star Citizen community aren't gamers, just rich people with nothing better to do but to spend a lot of money on a scam. You know what? Fair enough. Hi, Agnacarp. Welcome in. How have you been? What's the topic of today?
Star
Um,
Citizen, and what a joke it is. Oh
yeah,
Lord.
yeah. I don't know if you've heard about Star Citizen, but apparently it's been in development for 10 years and has raised over $800 million within those 10 years. And now they're struggling for money, which is kind of crazy to think about. Hey, Reaver, remember to post the podcast on X. Be quiet, Scythe. I forget things, and I kind of did that last minute, to be perfectly honest, like, because I forgot. But I was like, oh, during the podcast, I remembered, and then I did it. Okay, so yeah, I did it eventually. Eventually. Morning, old lady Reeve. Hello, Nox. Welcome in. I got silver 3. Oh my god. I am so proud of you. I also got silver 3. I used to be silver 2, but then I went down a rank, so I'm also silver 3. Speaking of silver 3, let's talk about Marvel Rivals drama. So apparently, Marvel Rivals, oh my god, we've already talked about how messed up the competitive system is in Marvel Rivals. It got even worse, Saib. So, there was a new Galacta event, I believe. There was a new event that was released, and within the event trailer, there was a reveal of things called chrono shields. What a chrono shield is basically you when you are in competitive mode, if you lose a game, if you have chrono shield on and you lose a game, if you lose a game, you do not lose points when you lose a game.
You don't lose your ranking. Yeah, your ranking points.
Yep.
So I originally I was like, wow, here's the hammer drop. Like this is obviously where they're absolutely gonna like milk the customers. Uh, and I was quite convinced of that until I found out. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently, you can't buy these, and apparently
Uh,
you. So is that true? Can you buy them or can you not buy them?
oh god. Guys, come on. Stop it. Stop defending this. I'm laughing because just because it's free now doesn't mean they're not going to put a price tag on it later.
This is true.
Don't be freaking naive. This is a free to play game. Come on.
And this is probably the test.
Yep.
Yeah, this is probably the test, like testing the waters, like
See the
they're gonna bring
reception.
this out for now. Yeah, see the reception, see how it
This is
goes, and then kind of
bad.
go from there.
This actually pissed me off. I got so mad. I was like, what the actual F? Like, I struggled so hard to reach the rank that I am, only to find out that people can have access to this. And it's so frustrating because I got loss after loss after loss. And then I finally start getting wins. And I earned my rank. And now you're telling me if I go into if I go into competitive, and I beat the other players, they have more of a higher chance to gain a higher rank than I do because they pay for chrono shields. That's what you're saying. Oh no, it's free right now. They haven't put a price. They're going to put a price tag on it later, guys. They're going to. And it's so frustrating because it's supposed to be competitive, bro. It's supposed to be competitive. You're like literally watering down competitive. You're making it fucking casual. You're making it easy for people to rank up. So if you're making it easy to rank up, what's the whole point of even having competitive in the first place? If it's just so easy to rank up now. And they said that it's for rank gold and lower. Don't worry, guys. It's available for people who are in rank gold and lower. And one of the people on my Discord said, that just makes gold the new bronze. and bronze is the like the lower tier that you can get in comp. Starting out, you're bronze, and he's right. You're literally diminishing what it means to even be in competitive gameplay. Like, this is legit pay to win. I know it's not pay to win yet, but it's going to be. It's going to be. It's so naive to think that they're not going to make you pay for this, to have access to this. And I'm so mad because I worked so hard to get to the rank that I'm at, only to be like, oh, well, if you get deranked, it's because you didn't pay for freaking chrono shields. So now I'm like not playing competitive, and I think a lot of people have actually dropped Marvel Rivals because ever since that Marvel Rivals has been going down the Overwatch route, people are seeing the writing on the walls and they're just dropping Marvel Rivals. And that sucks because literally the only people, as far as I can tell, that are in competitive are like the worst people to be in competitive gameplay. Like, I've been teamed up with like people who keep just blaming you for like not being good at the game and stuff like that, and they just give up before the game's even over. Like, it's just so frustrating. And I'm like, is it me? Am I the problem? And I'm like, no, I think what the problem is that because of the changes to Marvel Rivals competitive gameplay, it just took all the good people out. Like, all the good people left. It pushed out the good people, and now we're just left with the shitty toxic players. And that's frustrating because I feel like they're just, dragging everybody down with them, to be perfectly honest. But it could be all my fault. I don't know. A lot of people like to blame me for things, so it could be just my fault. I don't fucking know. Pay to win ticket basically. Yeah, pretty much. Knox said, I've seen Star Citizen. I have a friend who offered to buy me membership to play Star Citizen. I saw how the game was. Beautiful graphics, fluid on the visual aspect, but the gameplay looks bland. Ship designs and the concept is amazing, but it feels so boring. You have to pay for membership in order to play the game. Okay.
It's like, so you have to spend $1,000 in the game to unlock this super special captain store where you can spend more than $1,000 in a single purchase.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, I know it's dumb.
Add a
It's
cart.
dumb. It's dumb. Fight me. I don't care. You Star Citizen uh um
Fanboys.
B words, fanboy. Yeah, I was gonna be a lot meaner. You fanboys, like, again, all that this has done is it's ruined the actual game that you actually want to play, because this eats up all the oxygen in the room for promises that they're not, really not keeping. Um, allegedly, there's a bunch of lawsuits and stuff like that going on. And again, it's like, if I had been doing this, I would have created like 5 ships. I would have created an open world. You can fly around. You start to have that, and then you start to slowly build out from there. You know, I've
Yeah.
talked about this in the past. It's like a lot of games have a bad habit of like overstretching on their initial like concept. It's like the Star Trek MMO. Star Trek MMO came out in like 20 hours. You were a captain, and in like 5 more, you were an admiral.
Hmm.
It's like, and that was the base version of the game. It's like, are you people high? Why would you make the ranking system? You go from you plow through the entire ranking system in less than like essentially like less than 20 hours. Especially if you're like speed leveling, it's like 5. It's like, why would you do that? You have all of this like lore and all these like ideas and all these ranks and all this access, and by the end of the first, you were flying around in the best of the best of the best ships, and then they got stuck because they overplayed their hand. It's like, no, 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 no. You should have started smaller and then use the expansions to build up. And again, it's like you would have had a better game at that point. It's so dumb, so annoying.
Yeah. Uh, a lot of people had some sentiments about the Marvel Rivals thing.
Mhm.
Was it Matt Agnecarp
I'm
says pay to win has always been the sole reason gaming was ruined, and I'm not changing my mind at all. Yep, I mean I agree with that. Uh, Lazy Clay Gamer said I got the Marvel Rivals. I get that Marvel Rivals is a free to play, but that doesn't excuse the game for having pay to win ticket. Yeah, no one likes this. Giago said it's a bad idea. Rank integrity is a huge thing in any issue, from Team Fortress 2 to Marvel Rivals and Overwatch. So yeah, it's a bad idea that's going to get worse. Overwatch had this issue and it made the salt mines worse. Yay! Looking forward to the toxicity of gameplay. Let's go. Nox said, oh yeah, apparently NetEase said that the Chrono Shields are mainly for low elo players, which in my opinion is a stupid statement, which I agree.
Yeah,
That
it that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make it any better at all because people can just hoard boost to high ranked, and then it'll mess up
Hmm.
the comp because obviously, you know,
Yeah.
they didn't earn that rank. And I mean technically people said that
This
ranking in Marvel.
sounds
Sorry, what?
to me, this sounds like they could have easily fixed this problem just by reducing the amount of points that you lose when you're in lower elos.
Yeah.
When you're in the lower rankings, just make it so that it's a lot harder to like down rank, so that way you kind of have, or make the ranking system, make the matching system better, so that you're not stuck with people who are like outplaying you and you don't have an ability to like really learn. It's like and I've been there. Like I mean, I played professional, like pro rated, like league stuff before. And it's like, yes, it's not fun when you're trying to learn how to get good at at a mostly PvP game, and you don't have the ability to actually learn because you're immediately camped upon like entering the game, and that's the 5 out of like 6 games that you play that night. I've been there. It's not fun. It's not. That's not always what happens. But like, to fix that, you just fix the rank. Like, there's ways that you can improve the ranking system. Um, so this, I don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it. This sounds really dumb.
I mean, I've
It's
heard
yeah.
I've heard that it's actually pretty easy to rank up in Marvel Rivals as it is right now. Before the Chrono Shields were introduced. So it's just making it even more easier. But it's like pay to win though. And then there was something else that I heard. Oh right, they said that the matchmaking in competitive is actually like really skewed. Especially with people who have Smurf accounts, meaning that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
ranked Grandmaster, but they made a new
Oh,
account and start from the bottom to like nerf
yeah.
all the other new players because they
Oh, not nerf.
can. Whichever,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like snipe all
yeah.
the new players and then like rank up quickly with their new
Yeah, it's good
account.
for it's good. It's good for the views. It's good for the clicks. It's good for the all the other garbage. Again, I definitely smurfed in WoW back in the day. Like I'm talking about like the really crazy smurfing where like you went into like level 19 and under battlegrounds, Warsong Gulch, and you come in wearing items that are like meant for like high end level 70 players, and you come in there and you one shot, like your average hit does like 200% the damage of most other players. It's like that's insane. That's obviously insane. And there's like, it's fun, but it's only fun for a time. And again, if you want to mess around like this, it's like, man, make some bots. Like I don't care if you pretend that they're human. Just make some bots and let you could let people have fun that way. But no, you've got to crush smurfing because it really really does impact. It's like what I was saying before. It's like you're trying to learn the game and you're just getting grave camped, like camped at the graveyard constantly. Like you can't even get out. Like there's nothing you can do. And and the worst thing about it is people think they're cool. They're a really good player that's able to like smurf and kill all these other players. It's like, dude, you played like 500 hours, 600 hours, maybe 1,000 hours of this game. This dude's played like 20. Like, you really think that's a fair fight? Like, come on. Like again, I understand people want to like mess around and have fun, and I think that again, I think that that placement, I really do believe that that's like, that you can have that in better scenarios, probably by incorporating more PVE stuff into it, because sometimes, yeah, you don't want to have like you don't want to have like the hard, strenuous like game night. You just want to have like fun and like own some noobs and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that's okay, but it's not fun when you're doing it to noobs. Now, if a noob thinks they're hot stuff and they want to like come in and say, oh, I'm better than you all, it's like, you've been playing for like 10 hours and you don't know nothing, kid. Like, yeah, then you can dump on them, that makes sense. Or it's all kinds of the stuff, but the key thing that I'm picking up is that Marvel Rivals really screwed the pooch here, because they really should have like not done this and just fixed the issues with the actual ranking system that there currently was.
I think they should just go back to doing team gameplay instead of individual. Like the main issue was that they focused on team gameplay overall, and people complained and moaned, and they're like, I just want to be was it I want to rank up from my individual score, not because of like my team, because of team scoring, because I'm better than my shit team, so I should get ranked
Mhm.
based off of individual score. And then that was the first of many mistakes that NetEase made. They listened to the goddamn toxic Overwatch players, because that's what happened in Overwatch. It was a team comp, but then everyone's like, no, we want to be scored individually in order to rank up, and that's what Overwatch did. And now Overwatch was a cesspool for a long time, and now it's becoming that for Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
Now it's just individual scores, people just soloing Shiza by themselves, even though we're supposed to be a team and working together.
Mhm.
It's just so annoying, because I feel like I'm more self-sacrificing in the game than other players are, and they're like,
Yeah.
and then like I don't care. Like it gets gotten to the point where I don't even care if I die all the time. I'm just trying to make sure my team wins, because that means I
Yeah.
get to rank up. So I'm just
I
trying. Oh,
I
sorry.
like playing the tank. I really do like playing tanks in these kinds of games. It's one of my favorite roles to play in League of Legends, was like the tanky like jungler, not the assassin type, but like the tanky jungler, where like I'd come out and I'd push a lane, with and I go down to bottom lane, and like we'd push so hard with so much that we get into their base, and then I cover them, as we escape back, and rank, like, get new items, stuff like that. It's like, I did play Overwatch very briefly when it first came out, and it's like, I like that tanking kind of like tanky role of like getting out there, getting in people's faces, because I'm not the like I'm not the super like Twitch sniper. Like, that's just not my it's really just not my gameplay style. Like, I like it when it's like more slower and methodical. Um, sort of like the like original like battle tech and stuff like that. I like sniping with that stuff, but it's different. It's not like a Twitch based like one shot drops things. It's different, and I like that kind of stuff. But the twitchy thing is not fun. So I can see when players like yourself and when other people, it's like, hey, let's have more of a team oriented gameplay. But all these other people they're interested in is like getting the top scores. It's like, and again, I've seen this. I've seen this in Overwatch. I've seen this in I've seen clips of this in Rivals right now, where it's like some guy comes in, he plays like the optimal like peak like team DPS slash like team kill build, and he'll go off on his own. He'll solo the enemy team. He'll kill them all, and then he gets on mic and he's like, "You guys all suck. I'm better than you. You're so dumb. Like, yeah, I got so many kills." It's like, that player is that's the player that you want to punish. And I think probably one of the better ways to make it punish is like I'm spitballing this idea, but it's like, Make your damage immediately, your damage in your life immediately dependent on how close to your teammates you are. So the closer you are to your teammates, the more damage and health that you have. It's like that would probably fix the majority of those solo problems a lot. And then again, it's like get rid of like the individual counters. Like I know some people, and there's a good side and bad side to this, where it's like you want to encourage meritocracy at the same time that you don't want to like make a team game all about individual like power, like individual like one person holding it over top of everybody else. It's like you probably don't want to be doing that. That's not good. That's not healthy. That doesn't make for a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just reminds me how yesterday, well, it wasn't yesterday, it was like Friday. I was playing Marvel Rivals and I won like 6 consecutive quick play games. And quick play is just basically just casual Marvel Rivals. You don't play for ranking. You just get level up. You get leveled up, but it's more casual, more relaxed-ish. Like there's no pressure behind it, right? You're just playing. It's like you're like it's like a practice game with real people. Is what I can equate it to. So you're just casual play. You're just playing against people. I won 6 consecutive games in quick play. And might I remind you, quick play also matches you with people of the same rank. People of the same rank as you. So it's not like I'm fighting against bronze or whatever. I'm fighting against people in silver rank, all right? I won 6 consecutive plays. 6 in a row, back to back. It was ridiculous. I was getting all hyped up because of how great it was going. I was like, all we get is wins in this house. Because like I was like beating everybody. Well, I wasn't beating me alone per se, but I was like, my team was kicking ass, and I was like doing my best to heal everybody, and we ended up winning. And then I go into comp. I play 1 game of comp, and then we freaking lose. And everyone's blaming each other because they can't play the game right and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm getting dangerously close to getting deranked again. And I'm like, what the freak happened to Marvel Rivals comp? Because I would actually get really good matchups with people who knew how to play the game. Now it's getting to the point where I'm getting matchups with people who don't understand that they need to work as a team in order for us to win. They just blame everybody else. They just do their own thing. They just fork off and do their own thing. And it's like so freaking frustrating. And they're like expecting everyone else to carry them while they just go fork off somewhere. And it's like, we're supposed to work together, guys. We're supposed to be a team. Why is that's so hard to understand? And then it's frustrating because it's getting to a point where I'm not allowed to even main cloak and dagger anymore. It's gotten to the point I've gotten so good at cloak and dagger that like people are saying that I shouldn't be playing cloak and dagger anymore. I should try doing something else. Do something else, Reaver. Play a different rank. No, not a different rank. Play a different role, Reaver.
Play a different character. Yeah.
Try being a tank. You're just a one-trick pony. Instead of being a healer, why don't you try being a tank or why don't you try being DPS? Why you don't need it?
So toxic.
And I'm like, why do I have to change my
your play style? Your preferred play style, yeah.
To cater to these people who don't even. I'm just saying I can main other characters. I can. Mm-hmm. I also played Luna Snow. I also play Punisher. People said I should add a tank to the rank, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll play an Emma. Maybe I'll do that. Just to shut everybody up. But I want you to know, even if I am good with those characters, guess what's gonna happen? Everyone's just still gonna blame each other. Everyone's still gonna bitch and moan. Everyone's gonna say it's because of you, it's because of this, it's because of that. I think they need to change comp. I think all we have right now is just toxic players at this point. Because that's what it feels like. Literally, the last couple of comp games I've played have been nothing but toxic players. Tiago said, no, no, no. If you want to switch a character, that's when you do, not when others want you to. Oh, thank you, Jamuse. Sorry. He has different names. Thank you, Jamuse. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm starting to learn that when people start bitching and moaning, I shouldn't listen to them. There have been a couple comp games where people are like, let me play Cloak and Dagger. I want to play Cloak and Dagger. I main them. And I'm like, okay, fine. If you want to play Cloak and Dagger, go ahead, be my guest. Very rarely have I ever let someone have my main and it goes well. I'm just saying. Literally, most of the time, there was only one time I let someone have Cloak and Dagger and they actually did really well as Cloak and Dagger. Only one time. Everywhere, every other time
Sure.
I let other people play Cloak and Dagger, we always fucking failed. And people
This
are
reminds me. This reminds me of playing jungle in League so much. Where I'm like, this was before they had the like where you pick your spot and whatnot. But like, I'd be like, I'm doing jungle, and they're like, no, I'm doing jungle. I know how to do it better than you. And I'm like, okay, you could try. And then they're like, they maybe get like one kill. They usually have like 8 deaths, and they've got like 1 or 2 assists, and it's just like, yeah, yeah. Meanwhile, I was champion ranked with my Shyvana jungle, and that's the thing I was gonna say before too. Is like that's all I ever want to like. Not all I ever want to play when I play League, but that's for the most part all I really ever like really wanted to play. Like I've enjoyed a lot of the other characters from time to time, but really at the end of the day, I just liked playing as Shyvana and I really liked the play style. I really clicked with it really well. I liked all the things that I could do with it and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like then they came out with this other stuff and they're really pushing you. It's like, yeah, you have to master like 25 characters. It's like, do I really do I really need to invest my time to learn how to like perfect 25 different characters? I'm not into this. I'm sorry. And that's why I stopped playing is because it's just you just there's a point which it gets to be too much. It's like that's the point where you don't want to keep that's where it turns into a job, right? So yeah.
yeah, it's just I'm kind of disappointed to see how fast like it just happened so fast. It took less than a year since the game released for it to go downhill so freaking fast. Like it took matters of months, dude. Months. It didn't even last a whole fucking year, dude. It like at least with Overwatch it took a period of years as far as I know for it to get to its bad point, but they're making a comeback now, but they were at a really bad point for a couple of years now. But it just took a couple of months for Rivals to even get to this point, and it's just so fucking sad, dude. Like, I actually love Rivals. Marvel Rivals is such a fun game, but until they fix comp, I'm not gonna play comp anymore. I'm gonna keep playing quick play. I'm scared to do comp anymore because I feel like I'm gonna de-rank back to bronze at this point. That's what I'm
Hmm.
worried about. And I fought so hard to get to silver 2. Now I'm silver 3 again. Ugh. Knox said, I absolutely loathe when I pick a character I want to try for fun. Some idiot just goes on voice or hover over the same character just to show their lord on them, so I should give it to them. Like, bro, I don't give a singular automatical F. That just means you spent your time no lifts, no lifts, oh my, off of one character. Yeah. Yeah, that happened like only one time in a chat did someone actually like really beg me to play Dagger because I was playing Dagger and they're like, I want to play Dagger, please, please, I want to play Dagger, give me Dagger. And then they had their friends also beg me to play Dagger as well. They're like, yeah, you should give my friend Dagger, she's good at it. And I'm like, okay. And guess what happened, Side? I gave them dagger. Guess what happened?
Was she really good and really like wonderful at it?
No, we ended up losing twice because she wanted dagger so badly. But it was
Yeah.
but it was my fault, guys. It's my fault because I don't know how to play my characters at all. It's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I thought we were supposed to show how important supports are. And supports are important when you actually know how to fucking play the supports.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and yes, in fighting games, we deal with this. Character loyalty is a thing all over gaming. Reaver, we have to think about it. Their growth was spectacular, and they got people from all over shooters, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Valorant. So it's a lot of different players that have a lot of different views on how things should be. Yeah, they kind of ruined the game. Yeah, they kind of ruined the game though. I think it should go back to being a team game where you're basing off of team points and if your team won or not instead of being individual. Because the moment that they started doing individual score is when things started going downhill. Then they were like, oh, not only is it individual score, but only DPS matters, as in damage per second. So supports don't even get that much get that much points to level up. Only DPS get more points because killing matters more. Or not just killing, the final kills, like final hits, those matter a lot. So yeah, of course, people are going to be focused more on DPS. Even healers are just going to only focus on DPS instead of healing the whole team. That turned into a huge thing. And now they're making it easy for people to rank up with chrono shields. When is it going to end? I feel like it's just controversy after controversy after controversy. It just never stops. And it's like, God darn it, Marvel Rivals devs, NetEase, fix yourselves. But then people say that NetEase is notorious for not supporting games and like mishandling and stuff like that. And it's just, I hate this. It's sad. It makes me a sad. Listen, when I pick Venom first and you want Venom 2, it would take at least 50 Magnetos to pull me out those. Oh my, I switch off when I want to. You know what? Fair enough. Usually when people, usually when people think I'm doing a bad job with Cloak and Dagger, they're like, why don't you play like something else? And then I do play something else, and they're like, man, you suck. And it's like, I need to stop listening to you because obviously just like you're throwing off my vibe, bro. Like I learned that I work better with more of a positive feedback. And then we have like toxic gamers that just constantly complain at you for not being good at your main. It's just it throws up. This is your teammate you're talking to. Like if you want to throw someone off, throw off the enemy team. Why are you trying to throw off your own teammate? Like you're throwing off the vibes, bro. Like it's not cool. My main point is mainly that the Marvel community is kind of having to take some time to finally get their footing, and Nettie's got to get a grip, so we on the roller coaster. Sorry, I was pressing weird buttons. But yeah, it's gotten to... It's just, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Marvel Rivals started at the peak, was making even Overwatch sweat. And now Overwatch is doing better than Marvel Rivals, as far as I know currently. Overwatch is doing way better than Marvel Rivals right now, and that's just sad to see. I feel like NetEase really fumbled with Marvel Rivals, and they need to get a grip, or else they're gonna lose the whole fan base. But yeah, I think we've settled on talking about Marvel Rivals for long enough. Have you heard about the leak of an Assassin's Creed roadmap going forward?
I have not, and I have absolutely no care about it whatsoever. Like there's,
I'm a
like,
little optimistic.
I'm not. I'm assuming that they're just going to like, unless, as I said long ago, was all part of their plan, was to get to dump their stock, to make it so bad that tons of people started leaving them, that there was no longer any more of a wish to try and do a hostile takeover, then sell everything
I
to
mean, I've heard some.
Tencent, because for some reason that made sense,
There's
so that they could then own the IPs and make better games now, and then take back their stock in their companies. It's like,
I have
unless that was the whole thing, I have no hope for them. They're run by a bunch of clowns who don't know what they're doing, that have no longer any desire to actually make a good game.
so much
Garbage people.
is happening behind the scenes, guys. So much. Ever since that Ubisoft got bought out, well, I can't say bought out. Got Tencent's shares rose by a lot. It's been a while since Ubisoft shares been, was it, yeah, since Tencent's shares into Ubisoft raised by a lot. Lots has happened. So let's talk about the games first before we get into the nitty gritty about the background politics of what's going on in Ubisoft. So they're coming out. They have a roadmap with some games coming out, and I'm a little bit optimistic because Tencent has slightly more control over what's going on in Ubisoft, and they did that weird thing where they separated the assets, and they made, allegedly, the new department that they made is called like Nuva or Nuvo. Nova. It's something that means new, and they're putting their main assets in there, like the Far Cry series and the Assassin's Creed series, and their main titles. And one of there's like a whole bunch of different Assassin's Creed games coming out, but it's been a while since I watched the video talking about this, so I don't remember all the games coming out of Assassin's Creed that they have planned. But the next game, as far as I know, is Assassin's Creed Hexi, and it's like Hex with an E at the end. So Hexa, I don't know how you pronounce it, or Hex. Assassin's Creed Hex is taking place during the European witch hunts, and it's supposed to have like this horror feel to it, which I'm actually very interested in. Not because I'm a witch or anything, but yeah, it just sounds pretty interesting. So I'm curious to see, especially since.
So are they finally admitting that they're moving away from realism and they're embracing mythology and fantasy?
I don't know. I mean, they've been doing that for. They've been suspending the suspension. They've been suspending the suspension of disbelief for many years now. I mean, technically, this.
Time, but their storyline that they use is clearly true, because Sasuke was obviously the best samurai that has ever lived.
Yeah, and he rode a dragon, and took the emperor's armor during battles, and and historically destroyed shrines in Japan. Yeah, very historically accurate. But other than that, I'm actually really excited for the game because Tencent has been allegedly firing problematic developers and leads who they think should not be in charge anymore. And knowing Tencent, that might be a good thing. A lot of people speculate that some of the people who have been let go from Ubisoft were the people behind all the non-binary characters and stuff like that. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I kind of speculate that that might be true. Also, so the Guillermo, is it Guillermo or Guillermot? What are they called? What's their names?
Guillermo.
Guillermo. The Guillermo family.
At the same time, I really don't care. That family has been a bane to gaming.
Okay, so riddle me this, Batman. The Guillermo family sold most of their shares to another company, but for some reason they think that they have the power to gain control back of the company when most of the game's shares are not in the company. Like, they don't have most of the power over their company, yet they think they can still have control over the company. Like, so right now, currently, allegedly, quote unquote, right now there's like infighting in Ubisoft. The Guillermos think that if they have more control over the executive seats and stuff, they have more control over the company. But Tencent's coming in, trying to get like clean house of like all the departments in Ubisoft. And was damn it, there's this one department that they're fighting. I like the IT department, I think it was. Like, they're like fighting over the IT department. Like, Tencent wants to clean house of the IT department, but the Guillermo family doesn't want Tencent to do that, because if they have control over the IT department, they have control over the company. I don't fucking know. But
That's yeah, yeah.
and then and so that is happening. And while that's happening, Tencent has more control over the main IPs. Wasn't it Tencent that has control over the main IPs, like of Far Cry and Assassin's Creed? Do you remember, Saib?
Say that again. Say that again.
Who has more control over the main IPs? You know how they separated Ubisoft?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So technically, it's still Ubisoft. Technically, it's still the Guillermo's, because that's how they did. Which, again, I'm utterly shocked that this is legal. Like, that they got away with this. Like, this makes, like, it makes no sense. They just moved everything that the stockholders had stock in. That's why they call it stock, and they moved it over to another company and essentially left the stockholders with just the giant bill. Like, again, how they've been able to do this, how that this has become like passable in the legal sense, is utterly shocking to me. Um, but again, like, I'm no expert when it comes to that kind of stuff. But no, as far as I understand, the Guillermos control the IPs now. Now, I am sure that Tencent will make a play for control at some point, because they realize that these guys they're all probably past their prime as far as gaming making games goes. They're probably just a giant like weight to the company. They probably don't have any like I very much doubt if you gave them like, $100 million and put like a bunch of them into a room and said, make a video game. I doubt they would actually come up with anything that was even like remotely playable. Um, even if you allowed them to hire like a small team, it's like I don't think they have the capability. I don't think they know how to make games. I think they got lucky, kind of like feeding into the early designs that led to their early success, and then they've been riding that early success for a long time now. It's like that's what I think has happened, like 100%. Like, I don't think they're capable at making games.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm 100% Tencent's gonna backstab them, throw them off the side of the cruise ship, dump them out the backside of the plane, international water. Like, they're gonna do something. Like, this is just extremely obvious at this point.
Uh,
And all that they've done is they've just moved their inevitable loss of the company. And again, this is important. Every developer needs to understand, every person who sets up a company needs to understand, never ever ever lose full control of your company unless you're an absolute idiot. You do not ever hand your company over to a bunch of stockholders. If you do stocks, you always hold on to like 55%, period. Period. You never ever sell more than that. You'd be a fool to do it. Oh, stupid people. And then they expected that because they sold off 90% of the company, that they still get to control it. It's like,
uh,
or not. Like, or not. Like, good lord. So dumb.
Jamuse actually reminded me. So apparently there was a guy, part of the Guillermo family, one of the brothers. Apparently he did some weird controversy with the BLM thing and Watchdog Legions, and and it was such a huge backlash that he ended up leaving the company.
Mhm.
Well, in their dire straits, they're like, let's bring that dude back. When, as far as
Brilliant.
maybe he'll help save the
I don't.
company.
Now I have no idea about this controversy. I don't know what side he was on. I don't know
Yeah,
what was going on there. But
I don't play Watch Dogs.
it's. But I mean, yeah, this feels like moves of desperation. That's what this feels like.
Yeah,
And again, it's like I think for a very long time, this company has been extremely unrealistic. They've not been professional. They've had no conception about what they've been doing. Um, they got really lucky with the Viking themed Assassin's Creed
that's
one.
because
Like,
the Vikings show was like really popular
yeah,
around the
yeah, it
time.
was like they got lightning in a bottle with that, and it wasn't their skill that got them that. That was sheer luck. Like they managed to like luck their way into that, and again because of the whole worldwide event that was going on at the same time, it's like yeah, this really like they fed into this and got really really lucky.
Yeah.
That's what I feel about it. But yeah, anyways,
Jamu said, son of Yves Guillermo is supposed to come back to clean up, so nepotism at its finest. Yep. Sounds about
yeah,
right for Ubisoft. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, apparently, even though Oblivion Remastered released, uh, people noticed that they did a lot of censorship, and
yes,
they censored the women and not the
yeah,
men.
they did. Yep, they did.
And
Um,
that's what I was actually worried about that when
mhm.
I heard that there was going to be the Oblivion remaster was releasing. I was like, well, if it's a remaster, they might end up censoring some things. But I didn't. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, so I didn't say anything. But it was definitely a worry in the back of my head. And then lo and behold, they did change things and they did censor stuff. And the problem is, and I think Asmongold did a good job pointing this out, and it wasn't just him, there was other YouTubers who pointed it out who was also like really big fans of Oblivion who noticed these changes. Why is it that they're only censoring women?
Because
Like
it
why is it okay to not censor men? Men can do whatever they want, but when it comes to women, they have to censor women in video games.
so it's not just about the censoring, it's about the uglification. It is, in my humble opinion, a complete and total war on beauty. I
It's
think that
not just a war on beauty, it's a war on feminism. No,
yes,
femininity.
femininity.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
being a
Yes, because
woman in general. It's just like
yes.
we're not allowed to do that anymore. We're not Women aren't allowed to have boobs. We're not allowed to have to be sexy. We're not allowed to be attractive in
In
video games.
fantasy games,
In fantasy games or in video games. It's because the male gaze gooners.
it's
I am a
wrong
I'm
and
a
it's
woman.
deeply evil.
I'm a woman and I want to see that
Thank you.
represented in the game. If
Yeah.
women can be sexy IRL, if women can be empowered by being sexy IRL, I want to see that in fantasy games. I want to see
Well, I
sexy
mean,
characters in fantasy games. I want to see sexy female characters in fantasy games, in video games. I want that represented. I'm sick and tired of
yeah.
these gaming developers thinking that they're uh helping women by like taking away their beauty, taking away
Yeah.
their boobs. We're helping women by getting rid of making them ugly in video games. How are you helping women? I don't
It's
understand it. I don't understand that logic.
it's really messed up and this stuff is like it's been there for a long time. But I also didn't really like I just when I saw this originally I just kind of rolled my eyes and I just chuckled because I'm on the PC and I'm very familiar with the modding scene and most of this has already been fixed over there and will continue to get fixed and will continue to get better and better and better and better and really like that kind of like spits in the face of this. I'm also gonna, unless you have like more to add to this particular story, I'd like to point out that one of the best selling games last year was, which is now PlayStation leaked their release date for it, but Stellar Blade is coming out to PC
Oh
soon,
yeah, yeah, we
and
were talking about that.
and and all that this shows is that there are still people who value and who make really good games with, you know, with the with a beautiful sense in mind, like playing into the femininity. And just because you're playing into femininity doesn't mean that you have to like you don't have to make the characters strippers. You also don't have to abide by like physics either. It's like I hear that argument a lot. And I hear that argument from the same people who take, go into Oblivion and they slap on full plate armor and then they go swimming. It's like, yeah, that, like, you can't, like that's the pot calling the kettle black. Like this is some really screwed up, messed up stuff when you're like, I play these games because I like real, like, physics and stuff, and then they proceed to A, use magic, and B, swim around in a lake in full plate mail. It's like plate armor. It's like, no, you're not into it. You're just a sexist pos. And then the people who are trying to like crush it because they don't want it, they're also pos's because they're it's not about helping women. It's about, controlling this male gaze. It's like first of all, that's just dumb. Like it genuinely is like, there's like, art is, it showcases the things that are you don't always see on the everyday. And this is good. Like, it's good to have that in art. If you think you're going to remove it or control it, or there's lots of places in the world that have, like, super high, like, morals and no skin showing and all that kind of stuff, and I can guarantee you most of those places, the vast majority of them, are hellholes. And the ones that aren't usually end up falling into this thing where, because there's so much repression about it, it ends up exploding and it ruins their what those people have visioned for a perfect society at some point in the future. And then you have the situation where it's like, Japan, and like, um, their famous industry that now, is 10% of their entire GDP. It's like, yeah, you have to allow for a balance. And instead of, like, trying to be, what's the teacher, Umbridge from, the ridiculously, like, the tyrant. It's like, instead of being a tyrant, maybe try to educate more, maybe try to like communicate more, maybe try to like talk about why family values and like modesty is important, and stump for it in a respectful way, instead of trying to jam it down everybody's throat. Because, yeah, forced censorship really works in the long run. Psst, it doesn't. It never has. It doesn't work. Stop thinking that it will. Yeah. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. I am so angry with this subject every time it comes up, every time I see this, because it really is. It's just, it's stupidity. It's like, you're never going to win against this. Secondly, it's disgusting that you would try. It's
Now,
so gross.
I've had time to think about this because people are like, oh, the reason why we're desexualizing women in games is because men are predators and they take advantage of women in the most heinous sense. And I'm like, and I thought about it for a really long time because me and Ash had a discussion about like women being sexualized in gaming and then sexualized in
Mhm.
media and, things like that. And it creates a precedent, allegedly, of men becoming predators against women. And I thought long and hard after that discussion. And I came to the conclusion that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It
No,
it
it really
doesn't
doesn't.
it doesn't matter if a woman covers up. It doesn't
Nope.
matter if a woman shows skin. Most men aren't going to do anything about it. It's only
Yeah.
those
So,
heinous, disgusting freaks out there who think that they can get away with it, who cause these kinds of problems. So it
Mhm.
does, like,
So
there's going to be grapers if a woman's covered up, and there's going to be grapers if a woman shows skin.
yeah. So in
It's it
this
doesn't
is
matter.
perfect.
So like I'm saying, look, I'm saying in the sense of women being sexualized, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
No.
matter because these jerks are just going to take advantage of women anyways. The
So
problem,
in societies, I got some numbers for you real quick. So in societies where it's like a high family focused society, where there is high levels of censorship and like extreme modesty controls and stuff like that, but it's still like a fairly like family centric society. The numbers of grape, as you called it, sits around like 10%. And when you go to a society that, again, fairly family focused values, but they don't really have like as much modesty control, that kind of stuff, again, the number sits around 10%. So it doesn't matter what the women are wearing in these scenarios. It really doesn't factor in on the numbers. It's the same. And in most cases, it's somebody who's familiar with the victim. So that's the first problem. And then and so as you said, it's like there's not really any point to it because the numbers stay the same. And as far as like men misbehaving, you always have 10% of the male population is misbehaving, and then you have about 20% of the male population that goes out of their way to ensure that everybody behaves, and then you've got this weird like 70% that sits around and they just do whatever is the most like um typically they just do whatever the most like moral thing perceived in society to be because there's rules and stuff like that. So yeah, it's those are very simplistic numbers, but yeah, that's you hit the nail on the head.
yeah, like, yeah, because like you hear about very restrictive countries where women cover up. You hear about assaults happening there. And then you
Mhm.
hear about women who are free spirited, more free spirited in what they wear and stuff. And then you hear about assaults that happen there. So it's like, it's just pretty much, I can't say it's pretty much the same, but it happens. And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if you're showing or not. So it's like
and the
trying to
numbers
restrict
and the
media makes no sense because I don't
exactly.
think it has any correlation with that at all, to be perfectly honest. Like yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like this isn't helping anybody, you're just ruining a medium by putting your stupid politics on something that has nothing to even do with that. Like
Mhm.
it's just so frustrating. It's frustrating. But yeah, and it's weird that we even have to have this conversation in the first place because it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I don't in a sense, the most Puritan in a society take these arguments and make them about women in games just to try to ignore what the game is about and have something to complain about. In all aspects of cultural economy, the argument hasn't made sense. They aren't a part of the story except for the Puritan part into it. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah. There, like, was it? Okay, so when The Last of Us was first being made, they were going to make it only affect women. Like the virus was only supposed to only be spread to women, and Ellie was supposed to be the first girl that uh that would didn't get infected by the the virus. But then this always made me laugh because Neil Druckmann, whenever he brings up this part of the drafting phase of The Last of Us, he like there he literally was speaking at like a feminist uh I can't say congregation. It was a convention. I don't know. It was like a meetup.
Convention,
Yeah.
but congregation is pretty accurate too.
Well, he was like telling this like with the like because he was hoping his girlfriend Anita Sarkeesian was watching him while he made this presentation, and he was like he literally I heard this quiver in his voice like he was about to cry, like he was so ashamed of how sexist they were going to make The Last of Us by making the virus harm women. He's like oh, I can't I can't believe I did this. It's like it always makes me laugh about how performative it was. And you guys can go look for it yourself. Like he literally takes a moment to pause and you can like hear a small quiver in his voice like he's about to cry because of how ashamed he is to be a man and to do this to women. And it's like, bro, shut up. Cause like swear to God, it's just a fictional story. Chill out, dude. Like it was just a concept phase and he's acting like it was the most reprehensible thing that ever came out of someone's mind. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like calm down, dude. But it's like I don't know. It's just it's weird that they're infantilizing women.
Yeah,
Like, like,
that's what it comes
like,
down to.
because like women need to be protected. They can't handle seeing booba on the screen. They need to be protected. They can't see the JJ. Women can't see that. We can't harm the poor women's delicate eyes, but we can stick a naked man in front of their face in games. We can do that. We can make Leon Kennedy naked in friggin' Resident Evil, was it 2 remake? Make him have his strong ding and lang all over the place. But Lord forbid that what's her name? What was that one chick's name? Something Redfield. Sarah? Was it Sarah Redfield?
Yeah, Sarah Redfield. Yeah.
Lord forbid a mod comes out of her running around naked. Lord forbid her booba go jiggling everywhere and everything's gonna be in everyone's face. Lord forbid. You can't see a nude lady in a video game. It just seems so stupid. Like, why is this even a thing? I'm just getting so tired of this. Like, women in video games can't be
Join
ugly
the
or look
club.
average without people getting upset about it. Like, bro, I don't care if a character looks attractive or not. I don't That's not the issue. The issue is that if they look attractive at all, it gets demonized. That's the problem. They're like, "Oh my god, they freaking sexualized women. We need to burn this game down." It's like, "Shut up. I don't care. I don't care that it shows booba and butt. I actually like the cute outfits these girls. I like cute women and I like that they're wearing cute outfits. I don't care." And then they go out of their way to make women ugly on purpose in video games. And that pisses me off too. Like, you do it on purpose. Usually it's remakes or sequels where they made the character purposely uglier in the remakes or the sequels. And you can tell the difference because they did that shit on purpose. And I cannot stand that. They're like, "Oh, the character was too attractive. We need to make her even more ugly." And it's like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? I'm just so sick and tired of this shit. I am so tired. Uh, wait. Agna Carb's just going off on something about this. Jamia said, "Remember, Neil Druckmann took everyone around him that was better than him and fired them from the company. It's now a Yes Sir studio." Ew, yeah, I don't like Neil Druckmann. To be honest, okay, Agricarp said, "To be honest, it doesn't make me too upset whenever they cover women up or censor them because the other side of this discourse is also unbearable. Women in video games can't be ugly or look average without people getting upset about it. Because there's moments where a female character looks average at best and somebody makes a mod saying they fixed it and the only thing they did was make them overly sexualized, which spreads another toxic argument or narrative." Fair enough.
This is where I say give us the ability to create our own characters. There is absolutely no reason
I'm
why
just
this should
saying,
be difficult.
let people just enjoy what they want. I don't care
Hmm.
that there's a mod to make a character look more attractive. I don't care. I don't care that there's a
It's
character who was already
and
originally ugly. I don't care. If the
and I would also
character,
push back.
if
I would also push back a little bit on that. The whole idea is like no, 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 no. You don't play a game about the ordinary schmucks. You play a game with Princess Peach. So yeah, sure, Mario might be an ordinary schmuck, but it's that's a little bit different because the the social norms of how we judge that are completely different. So not to be argumentative, but I do disagree. I disagree. I think
I'm
that
just,
um, yeah, I think beauty is actually a really important thing, especially for female characters.
I'm just saying
And
this
again,
wouldn't be an
it's not.
issue
Mhm.
if they would just allow gamers to have attractive characters. That's it.
True. Yeah.
This would not be
Yeah.
an issue. You can have a game with ugly ass characters. You can. Just give me characters as well that are also attractive. As well. Not just only ugly characters and that's it. Do you know what I mean? That's all they've been pushing is nothing but unattractive characters, and it's mostly women that are unattractive. Why is it only women that are getting uglier and uglier in video games? Answer me that. Why is it only women who are getting uglier, but men are still attractive? Why is that? That sounds awfully misogynistic, doesn't it? That sounds oddly one-sided, doesn't it? Seems kind of unfair that only men are more attractive in video games than women. Why are women being
If
ugly? Why?
if
Tell me that.
if I were extremely conspiratorial, I would probably look at that scenario where you have this constant uglification of women in video games, and I would probably point out that there's probably some kind of like mass movement to try and do this for a nefarious reason or cause. That's if I was very conspiratorial, but I'm not. So that's just food for thought.
You do realize most of the
I'm gonna
game
get so much hate for that.
You do realize most of the gamers are men? Of course they're gonna want big booba sexy ladies. Of course. Because it's a male dominated field. Of course they're gonna want big booba. Oh, but some women play video games. Yes, we play video games, but we're not the main majority. Hello? I feel like people are just being so purposely not understanding like like who mainly plays video games. Of course, most games are gooner bait because it's mostly men who play games. Yes, we'll have females who play games. Guess what? They also like gooner bait. Guess what? I play mostly gooner bait yaoi games. Oh, I want attractive male characters, surprise, surprise, who kiss each other. Ooh, that's what you get with me. What do you get with mostly straight men? You want sexy booba ladies that kiss each other. Ooh, surprise, shock, and value. Ooh, who could have foreseen that's what men want? Ooh. So yes, of course they're gonna want freaking attractive characters. Yes, I'm gonna want attractive characters. Like, why are we ignoring the fact that people like attractivism in games? And yes, there's gonna be some gamers, like Agnacarp said, that don't even care about this shit, but the majority do. And And that's why most of these freaking games go under when they start uglifying on purpose, uglifying their female characters. Gooner bait, yeah, we should record scratch and wait. I'm just saying that people have preferences for what they find attractive. Like, everyone keeps complaining that attractive female characters are gooner bait, but it's like, as me as a female, I'm gonna find males attractive with yaoi and stuff, and I'm gonna go seek it out with, yaoi games and stuff because I find men attractive. So it's of course men are going to want to play attractive female characters in their games and want that. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and
Makes perfect sense to me.
like, yeah, I'm just repeating myself, but it's just like I'm
Mhm.
just repeating myself, but there's some people who don't care, but the majority do. The majority do. So it's going to be an issue and it's going to be a topic fought against and fought about because it's inherently sexist. How can no one understand that? You are literally attacking femininity of women right now, and you're saying you're doing it to protect women, but you're being freaking misogynistic sexists by doing that. And I'm sick and tired of people trying to be white knight to women and saying they're freaking saving women when they're just harming us. And it pisses me off, and I hate it. I don't like to be restricted. I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like game developers saying that, no, you don't want attractive women when I do want attractive women. Shock and awe, guess what? Women actually like attractive women in games too.
Yeah, they will almost always, what is it, like 90% of them will play the more attractive female given a choice lineup. Like that's just how it is. And it's I a lot of it's genetic. Like, people make qualms about this, but we are still driven by our genetics. And the survival of the human race is hinged on this kind of stuff for a very long period of time. Yeah, it was not always fair, it was not always nice, it was not always problem free, but it's how we lived. And we wouldn't be able to live if we didn't, have those genetics in us. We wouldn't be alive today. That doesn't mean that we can't get better. It's like, yeah, we can always get better, but it's like people forget about how important that is to society, like as a whole.
It's just so. I just hate that they're trying to, like, change what people desire, you know? They're like,
Oh
you
yeah.
don't like Stellar Blade, you like Concord. And it's like, no, I don't like that. Even as a bisexual woman, I don't like Concord. I don't even like some of the weird furry, not that I'm a furry, but I don't even like the weird furry stuff that they put in the Concord. Like, it was so unattractive. But I'm supposed to find that attractive? Like, what the hell? God, they were even I bet you they were expecting fan art from all the Concord characters and them being in, like, like ship wars or whatever.
Oh yeah, they totally were. I saw some of their like external, like, what do you call that? We call that like external internal marketing stuff like that. It's where they like line that stuff up essentially. It's like they had that stuff lined up and they were going so hard into this. You have no idea. These people were like, they were convinced this was the next, like, big revolution in gaming, that this was going to be, there were going to be people lined up around stores trying to get their hands on physical merchandise and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, what delusional world were you living in? Oh my goodness. That is, so precious and messed up all at the same time. That is some, like, peak tier level, like, delusional garbage.
Oh, Knox makes a
Like,
good
oh yeah,
point.
this.
Knox said, I see people who are screaming out gooner bait to modern games with attractive women, yet they're freaking slobbering over Love and Deep Space. That is the most
Hmm.
female gooner bait I've ever seen in my life, and I'm so mad I can't play it on PC. I'm trying. I was like, is there a PC port? Because it's a freaking mobile game, and it doesn't fit on my freaking phone, and I don't have no space because it's so freaking big. And I'm like, can I please play it on PC? Is it coming to PC anytime soon? I'm not a. Not that I'm a furry. Sure, Reeve. Sure. God damn it. Why does no one believe me? Reeve, not a furry. Yeah. What was the one spell you had? No, I'm not a furry, guys. I don't know what. I don't know what gave you that impression. I'm not a furry. Anyways, well, it's still funny that people go to the Concord sub to complain about the game that lasted 11 days. Then these blind defenders of mediocre games want to defend Marathon when they've lost their ability to make games to their CEO, destroying the company internally by targeting founders to either buy off or get fired. God dang. Ugh.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Nox said, Mother effer, my girlfriend slobbers over that game too, and she's not complaining me looking at booba physics. Dude, like, people getting insecure about fictional characters is such a turnoff. I don't understand. Like, it's just like the character is not even real. I don't know. Maybe I'm fine with liking Yaoi because it's like two men going at it, but it's like I don't know. It's just I don't know. Like I don't know. It's just I always thought it was weird
What was
that
that Hell Escape game with the Greek gods? What was that called again?
wait, what? Hellscape?
The Hell Escape game. Where you're
Hell
playing some
Oh, Hades?
Hades, right? What's the main character in Hades?
Fork. What was his name? The main character. Hades main character. His name was Zagreus.
I agree. Yeah, I get. I mean, I don't know. I get so self conscious that I'm not as cool looking as Hagrius. What was his name again?
Oh,
Hagrius.
yeah, everyone's spamming
Zagreus.
Zagreus.
I'm not. I'm compared to Zagreus. That's just enough. No, I'm kidding. That's yeah. That's so. It's so creepy when that happens.
They're all be
Uh,
showed. So it's like don't kiss me, kiss him. You guys kiss. Kiss. No kiss.
I know that that anime show that was really funny. I watched like one episode of it, and I was laughing pretty heavily through it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna finish this anymore. This is too much fun. It's still really funny.
Yeah. Oh, there's three. What are you reading, Muse? And one is with a dude. Wait, who are you talking about? Then there's his. What are you talking about? What is Jamuse going on about? They're all be shonen. Oh, there's three relate. Oh, are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about Hades. Then there's Medusa. Yeah, there was only one male love interest. I really thought Achilles was gonna be another male love interest, but no, that was just a red herring, which pissed me off. I'm like, don't even freaking give me the option to even flirt with him if he's not even a romance on. I freaking hate it when games do that. It's like if he's not even a romance option, why even make it a thing? They even made it seem like Medusa was a romance option too, but that was just a trick. It was literally a freaking trick. You're actually just friends. And it's like, why are you making them a romance option when you can't even romance them? It pisses me off. It's like literally a waste of freaking time. Do you know how hard it is to get through Hades by it in one playthrough by yourself? Like, and you're making me waste time giving these characters who aren't even gonna end up being romance later. Do you know how hard fought it is to get oh god, what do you call it? Nectar? Do you know the nectar of the gods? Do you know how hard it is to
I
collect
don't know. I
those?
never played it.
Do you know how hard it is to collect those? They're very hard. It's very hard to collect those. And then I'm just wasting it, hoping to bang, one of the characters and giving them my freaking nectar, only to find out Ambrosia, thank you. Ambrosia, only to find out that, we're just friends. And I was like, damn, bitch, I could have fucking given it to someone who actually gonna love me. Like, what the hell? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, gee, what a waste. What a waste of time. What a waste of time and effort. Nope. Achilles got his man. Oh yeah, apparently Achilles has he had a lover that he was separated from. There was a whole storyline, but then Zagreus is obviously flirting with him, but Achilles like, I can't, my heart is with another. And then Zagreus is like, maybe I could be, the new lover in your heart. And he's like, nah. And he's like, nah. And then Achilles gets back together with his lover. And it's just like, why? Achilles was his teacher. You think that matters? You think that matters? Have you not read any romance stories where freaking the teacher and the student get together? There have been many. Oh, but Reaver is such a toxic relationship because of the power dynamic. Shut the freak up. It's a freaking fictional characters, okay? They're fictional characters. They're not real. No one cares. It's a fantasy. God damn it. Stop freaking ruining this shit. It pisses me off with their stupid, oh, it's so toxic. It's like, shut up, bro. It is not real. It's not real life. Stop. Stop bringing real life into a fictional setting. It's not even real. Reaver, you sound like you need to play off from anything Goonish or I'm just so annoyed. You have no idea. Like, I read a shit ton of romance where I have my own opinions when it comes to romance in video games and media. And I've seen people who enjoy the same thing I do, yet they have the nerve to complain about reading the material when they don't have to read the material, but they feel the need to say, oh, this is toxic, to ease their guilty conscience for reading a problematic quote unquote material when it's fictional in the first place, so it doesn't really fuck matter. But I have opinions. She's making up her own Wattpad fanfic. I'm not. This is literally real comments. These are real comments some bitch ass people have left on romance forums that I'm privy to, and they're like, but this is problematic. This is toxic. But it's so bad. You can't be. It spreads a bad precedent to impressionable readers. And it's like, how about you just don't read it then? How about you just stop reading? If it makes you uncomfortable, don't read it. Do you know what happens when I read something and I don't like it? I stop reading it. Ooh, when I get bored with the story, guess what? I drop it. Ooh, that's what happens when I read a story that I don't like or I can't get into. They're gonna naturally just drop off. Like, who are you to lord over what the author puts out there? God damn it, don't clip that. Stop clipping that. I'm just saying, who are you to lord over what content the author puts out there and shaming the people who actually read the content? Like, who are you to come in here and like disturb my peace because you feel guilty over reading something that is technically problematic in the real world? So it's like, get off your high horse. Get off your high horse. We're all here to enjoy the smoot, alright? We're all here to enjoy smut. Like, just fucking get down on our level, alright? Get down on our level. We're like 70 chapters deep into this shit. Might as well go all the way, you know what I mean? Like, sorry. I have a lot. I've been holding in a lot of frustrations, alright? Because there's a lot of people talking smack, alright? About people liking certain content. Do you know what? And I'm not joking. Literally, this is a story. There's stories that are technically quote unquote problematic IRL, but it's a fantasy story, so it's not even real because they're not even real characters. Anyways, they're like, we're like 70 chapters into the story, and every fucking chapter up to chapter 70, all I hear is people complaining on how toxic the relationship is. And I'm like, no shit, bruh, because it's a story. Guess what's gonna happen at the end of the story? Character development. Why don't you actually wait until things get better before you start wishing murder on a fictional character? Like, 70 chapters of this. 70 chapters. Every chapter, every time, people complaining and bitching and moaning about the content of the material. And it's like, well, why don't you go read something else? There's literally fluffy romances somewhere else, yet they stick with this one because they love to hate on it, I guess. I don't fucking know. She made her. I'm not making fan fictions. This is real. I'm talking about manhwa. Come on. I'm talking about like actual things. We're just going on a generational crash out. I mean, yeah. It's a hill I'm gonna die on talking about fucking fictional characters. God damn it. Well, you can't act like there's no problematic toxic relationships in fiction without any progression or character development. That's what I'm talking about. Usually, that's what I feel like most of the people who, they just love to complain about it at this point, because it's just like, that's the whole point of character development in the first place. You start out at a horrible start, then they learn to grow as people and get better towards the end, or at least that's the whole point of it. Don't get me started. There's some romance stories out there. There's this one romance comic that was just toxic straight through. Like, they were toxic at the start to the very end. It was actually and I read questionable stuff. That was very questionable. I'm just saying, like, I read questionable stuff. That was like really bad. That was really bad. I don't condone. I don't know why the author wrote that and decided to publish that for everyone to view, like for free. And I was like, no, like but to each their own. Whatever. Some people actually liked it. Whatever. But welcome to Triple S League. No, we have to have one crash out. It is known. Fair enough. We have to have it at least, once or twice a month. Sign's gonna be out of the job if Reeves keep getting away with this. You read questionable stuff. I keep sending you questionable stuff to read respectfully. Jesus. Sorry. It's just that I'm just so tired of people like morally shaming others because it makes them feel better for enjoying like morally questionable things. And it's like, bro, you're in here with us. Stop trying to like act like you're superior to us when you're in here with us. Like, it makes what were we talking about? What were we talking?
So, in other news about art, turns out Bungie still hasn't gotten rid of that art thief streak that they've been sitting on for, gosh, how long has it been? Since like Bungie has been allegedly stealing art for allegedly a really long time, and they continue to do it. And apparently, allegedly, the person who did it this time still not in trouble. Oh, that's just so funny in so many sad ways. So yeah, there's basically some art thief stuff going on. It's they did a stream about it. I watched the stream when it hit live, and they're like, "We're so sorry, we screwed up on this," like blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, it was really blatant too. It wasn't like, oh no, you can sort of see how they like were borrowing the style. No, they just ripped the whole thing, just ripped the whole thing, like pasted it onto stuff, and then just ran with it. Um, which I found this whole thing with the art really confusing for quite a while. I was genuinely like really confused. I was like, dude, like, how is this possible? I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't seem to make any sense. It's like they're stealing art. Where on earth did they steal all that bad art for their character design from? Like, did they go to like the local like kindergarten and just like pull the stuff out of the garbage? Like, that doesn't seem to make sense. You can't steal something that doesn't have worth. I'm trying to do a bit here, and I don't think it's landing. But still, yeah, that's the story behind Bungie.
I'm just catching up on all the comments while I was crashing out.
during your golden rant there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Be quiet. I wanted to romance Achilles so bad, okay? I wasn't planning to, but he was like really attractive. Shut up. And Fork, was it Eigenkarp? I think, yeah, Eigenkarp was like, you like dark smut, I like wholesome smut with healthy relationships. We're not saying, be quiet. I like both, all right? I like both. I just get mad when people, morally shame others because they like darker stuff than the lighter stuff sometimes, all right? That's what all I was saying. Anyways, go on. What are you saying? Marathon did something bad. Bungie, so yeah, bad.
Marathon, they kind of dropped the ball on that. Again, Bungie's been doing this for a really long time, and they've had this problem in the past. Lots of studios have had this problem. But when they're making the art, which I have to say this, the world, the characters, even the weapons, I don't know what they were thinking. This doesn't look good. This looks like garbage. Like this literally looks like absolute garbage. And people like always rave about like how good Bungie's like you know gunplay is and world. It didn't look good to me. It looked like generic slop. And again, I just don't like I don't think they're doing a good job with it. I think it's garbage. I think if they just gave people character creators, I think that would probably help like a 10,000%. The current system that they've got, it just looks like trash. It is such garbage. I don't, I just,
I
no,
mean, the
not good.
problem, not only is it like very generic, but finding out that most of the stuff, most of the assets that they made for the game allegedly was actually all
Mhm.
stolen artwork and apparently from what Knox said, OSTs. Like so the OST was ripped off from somewhere and then the artwork for the game was also ripped off from another artist. So it's like, and apparently Bungie has a history of doing this, of ripping off
Oh yeah,
artwork
they do.
and
Yeah, they
stuff
do.
and creative licensing from other people. And they said that they fired the artist, but I think they were lying because this keeps happening. I think it's the same person or the same people who keep doing this. Either it's the same people who keep doing this or Bungie just doesn't care and hires people and says, hey, just Google it and then just paste it on there and we'll work it in. Like, either way, it's still the company's fault. And I feel like they got a lawsuit on their hands. That's what I feel like. They're opening themselves up for a lawsuit. And they're going to fight. I mean, they're already fighting a copyright lawsuit with one guy because they made a legion in Destiny 2. I forgot what they're called. Something hounds or the Red Legion or something like that. And they like
Yeah.
use flamethrowers and hounds to like attack you. And apparently a guy made a story where this legion is in there. So, and now they're being sued for copyright. And then suddenly the assets suddenly got deleted from Destiny 2 and they can't access them anymore. Interesting. Interesting. I see.
Yeah. Yeah. It. I do not know what is wrong with Bungie. It's one of the saddest stories because they keep on running into these problems, and it just sucks because it's like we don't want that to happen, but the fact that it keeps happening is really disturbing. But yeah, anyways,
Uh,
I
uh,
don't yeah.
Lazy Clay Gamer said, I remember someone mentioned this on Twitter. It seems to be a trend of companies falling from grace. Starts with B. Bungie, BioWare, Bethesda, and Blizzard Entertainment. Interesting. I think
Yeah,
that's,
no,
yeah.
they've all had their major issues, like for sure, 100%. Um,
Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
yeah, well, that's also because way too many video games start with the letter B when they're deciding to name themselves, which is highly annoying to me. It's like, yeah, but that I mean that happens all the time. Like you go to like one area of the world, you look around and almost every town starts with the letter S. And then you go to a different place and they all start with the letter B. And you go to a different place and they all start with the letter, C or T or whatever. It's like that's that's weird how human psychology does that.
Knox said, meanwhile, compare it to Digital Extremes. A fan made a skin that looked so good, the company contacted the artist and paid them so much money just to own the design so they can model it in game. That's sick. That's actually really cool. DE actually hired some of the fan artists to work with them. That's been going on for years, but they have an hour every week going over fan made stuff. Hmm. I mean, we just see that, was it big title studios are just getting knocked down. I think this is just the end for AAA studios at this point. I
I
think
don't think it's a yeah, I think they're not in a healthy place, that's for sure.
I think AAA publishers as a whole are gonna mostly cease to exist. I think maybe one or two might survive this, but I don't think all of them will. I think there's gonna be a huge shakeup, and I don't think all of them are gonna survive it. So apparently Nintendo reserves the right to brick your console following unauthorized use in bid to prevent piracy. Game chat footage recorded to ensure a safe and family-friendly online environment.
Yep.
Well,
I think that is because of the mods. I think that's what that I think that's what the angle is. I don't think it's right, obviously, but yeah, I think that's where they're coming from. Like I think that's what the actual issues are that they're having.
I'm not buying a Switch 2 at all. Don't you know that they sold out in the first hour of releasing a Switch 2? Don't you guys know that they sold out 2 million units of Switch 2s in the first hour? Don't you remember that, guys? Um I got news for you, Nintendo. Most of the people who bought the Switch 2 on in the first hour, they were scalpers. Normal people can't afford a freaking Switch 2 and your $80 games. No thank you. We still have to pay our bills and have to pay rent and have to pay for gas and food, and we don't have what is it called? What do you when you have extra money? What is it called? Uh
Disposable income.
yeah, disposable income. We don't have enough disposable income for this stuff. So, yeah. No thank you. Uh that's great. I'm happy for them, but it smells like FOMO. Dude, most of them were scalpers. And people are so turned off by the prices of Switch 2, and they know for a fact that the scalpers are gonna overprice the crud out of them, that no one wants to buy the Switch 2. No one wants to buy it. So they're just waiting it out. Dude, I feel like people are starting to get the PC mindset, and what I mean by PC mindset is that if you wait a couple months, things go on sale, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
everyone's like, if we just wait a couple months, they'll lower the price, you know? They'll make it more affordable because they'll realize people ain't gonna pay for this overpriced BS. uh I was debating Switch 2, then I saw game prices, no thanks. Saw the TOS to brick it if you try to mod it, solidified my rejection. Yeah. Dude, they're even forcing people to like move away from the Switch 1. Like if you have a Switch 1 and you go to Switch 2, the moment you move to Switch 2, they're going to erase everything from your Switch 1. And I think what I mean by everything is like there's no backwards compatibility. Like if you try to link your account back to Switch 1, it's like it is like a total memory wipe of your games. Like they erase everything as far as I know. I don't think they clear out your games. I don't think they clear out your games and you have to buy them again. I think they just clear out your history of like saves and stuff. I think it would be kind of messed up if they just ended up like deleting all your games from your Switch. Which I honestly wouldn't be
Wouldn't put it
surprised.
past them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did do that. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh yeah, didn't I hear something? Oh right. They mentioned Stellar Blade in the chat, and I was like, wait, I feel like I missed. There was something about Stellar Blade that we missed. Apparently,
It's got
Stellar
the
Blade.
nouveau.
Yeah, Stellar Blade is moving to PC, and I was like, oh my god, yes, finally PC. And then it said it's gonna have de nouveau, and I was like, no. For people who don't know what de nouveau is,
And
it's a third party it's a third party software that's supposed to stop piracy, right? Or is it supposed to be an anti no, it's supposed to be anti-piracy, right? Not anti-cheat.
yeah. Oh,
And
sorry, and you a little bit of both. I think.
and
I'm not positive.
The problem with Denuvo is that it's very hard on the software of your PC. It makes the game run very slow. It makes the graphics not come in all the way, so it's like kind of fuzzy, and like I said, it's slow. And the software makes your PC vulnerable to hacks because the it's very invasive to the info on your PC. Like the Nuvo like really goes into all the info that is in on your PC.
Yeah.
And but it's not a strong software, meaning that people can easily hack into Denuvo, and once they get into Denuvo, they have records of your info in Denuvo, so people can have access to your info. So that's why people do not like Denuvo. But for some reason, gaming companies are like, no, we need to use Denuvo. Do you know why they need Denuvo, Side? Is because they gain access to your info and they sell it to third parties to make a buck. Whenever, and I think Ubisoft, was it Ubisoft that got caught like recording data
Yep.
on, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm
whenever
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
whenever gaming companies want like invasive access to your info, they're selling your data. When was it social media accounts want access to your info, they're selling your data. That's all they care about, is making money selling your info off, right? To like advertisements or third party people or whatever. Whoever is going to pay the biggest buck for data. That's all they care about. This is why I play PlayStation. I don't think that's the flex you think it is. I don't think that's the flex you think it is. I'm a PC master race.
They already take your data.
Like DRM, digital rights management. Yeah. Yeah, PC master race for the win. Let's go. Having Stellar Blade blocked in certain countries isn't going to prevent piracy, but rather encourage the opposite. Companies keep forgetting that. Yeah. They try so hard, dude. It's kind of cute how hard they try. Ah, help! I've been raided! Oh, hi, SoCal Sam. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. Uh, shout out. Eh. I know how to shout out. It's been a while. Thank you for the hydration check. I drank all my tea. I drank all my tea. But thank you. I appreciate it.
I have a very big thunderstorm going on here. So if
Uh
I drop,
oh.
that's why. Yeah.
Dude,
I already dropped one.
we haven't even covered most of. I think we only got halfway through most of the news.
I
Uh
think we're moving. I think because the next thing to mention is we did the Denuvo thing. We did that. So Fallout Miami. Woot.
wait. Wait, you don't want to talk about the Half-Life 3 rumors?
I did not see that. Half-Life 3 rumors.
Apparently there's rumors for Half-Life 3. I think personally, because the rumors
I
for
refuse to believe it until I physically see it come up on Steam. I will never ever 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 believe that's an actual thing. Oh, there's that big thunderstorm. Yeah, yeah, I've got a thunderstorm over top of me. So if I drop, that's what's going on. Um,
okay.
I just never would believe that we're actually going to get it. I want to, I do, I really do, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Boo! You turned me into a bat. I hope you're happy. As the old saying goes, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. Yeah, that seems like sound logic. Bat Reaver, what? Yeah, I got some new toys to play with. Not like that. I meant like with VTubing models. That's what I meant. Gotta go, everyone. Stay safe and take care. Bye, Lazy Clay Gamer. Have a good one. Let's go, Bat Reaver. Oh my. Yeah. I think the only reason Half-Life 3 apparently playable leak. It's a playable leak. And I honestly think the rumors sprang up after, because people have been calling for Oblivion remaster for like years now, and it actually happened. So people are like, "Oh my God, Half-Life 3 is probably gonna finally be here and playable leak." And I don't know. I think maybe it's just maybe because of Oblivion, the Half-Life 3 rumors kind of just, you know, escalated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's just my 2 cents though. I don't know. We could get Half-Life 3 finally. Who knows? That'd be the day. We get Half-Life 3 before Grand Theft Auto 6. Half-Life 3 drops before Grand Theft Auto 6. That'd be fun. That'd be gaming history. Uh oh wait, that's still the meaning hold it. Okay, we already talked about that. Tries to waive your right to. Oh yeah, Nintendo's updated their EULA, tries to waive your right to class action lawsuits. So you can't sue them. Uh you can't they're trying to make it so you can't sue them. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know if they can legally do that. They're just I don't I was like, what the hell is going on with Nintendo? But then I remembered that the new guy heading Nintendo used to work at EA. So Nintendo's just the new EA, guys. I'm sorry to say. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, Power World had to change some things. Let me see.
Yeah, they've been changing. They have more things that they're changing. So that kind of obviously sucks, but yeah.
Yeah, this patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing spheres instead of changed it to a static summon next to the player. You know, my idea was pretty good. I thought maybe they could just like use a badge thing, and then it just like this little placket badge where it just summons it. So you don't have to throw a ball, but you just like it's like a stone thing that summons it. That would have been better. As many have speculated, these changes were indeed a result of the ongoing litigation. Uh, we regret to inform our players that with the implement of patch V0.5.5, we must yet make yet another compromise. This patch onward, gliding will be performed using a glider rather than with PALs. Bro, I really hope Pal World wins their lawsuit because Nintendo is just a pain in the butt. Like, for
I
real.
do too. I hope they freaking choke on this.
This is getting,
Absolute, absolute B words.
yeah. Bloodborne sitting at the bottom of the ocean. Oh yeah, everyone wants a Bloodborne brought to PC, and everyone's like, "Oh, it can't be done nowadays." I'm so sick of hearing that. They're like, "Oh, it can't be done." With the way that we've advanced in technology, yes, it can be done. They just don't want. They're just so lazy and don't want to do it, bro. Uh, man, the GTA 6 memes just write themselves. They're working on patent invalidation, which may take a while. Yeah, hopefully. I just hope they really win because it's just gonna prove how stupid Nintendo. Well, yeah, Nintendo is. Wait, it's Nintendo, right? Who's suing Power? There's just so much going on. I'm sorry, I'm doing a brain fart. Guilty Gear Strive source code got hacked, and it leaked season 5 characters. Yay! If anyone's into Guilty Gear, I know Jamuse is. Apparently, they got hacked. Uh, uh, well, let's see. What was the news characters? Baiken, one of the franchise's most beloved names, was one of the additions in season 1. Okay. Guilty Gear leak claims to have discovered that Jam Kuradoburi, Come, Heiyun, Answer, and Raven will be the fighters released in Season 5. The information comes from a hacker who claims to have broken into Arc System Works' internal servers and accessed the game's source code, which includes a build with Season 5 content, although this is still in development. So, yeah, there's that. That happened. Yeah, sadly, there's a problem. He got source code. Uh, Ori Studio in Crisis, No Rest for the Wicked could be their final game. So this was actually pretty interesting. Are you still with me, Seb? 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 I think he died. Oh no, I think Seb died.
I'm
So,
back.
oh, there you are.
It's getting really it's getting there's the
Really spotty.
massive thunderstorm overhead, so it's really spotty. Yeah,
Have you heard about the whole Ori Studio drama?
it's really
You're cutting outside. Okay, I didn't realize how bad it was on Sib's end. He just cut out. Oh, I'm just Sib.
um,
Okay,
I I keep dropping in and out.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really spotty. Whenever there's a thunderstorm out here, it tends to block the SAT. So yeah, Ori, I didn't hear about it. No, short answer.
I mean, so what happened was that gaming journalists, because they saw that the original developers made a post on their Discord. And he said, I think people think I'm joking when I'm asking for positive reviews because in people's minds, there's always some big publisher in the background who'll cover costs. Folks, if you're writing here and are enjoying Wicked and are excited for future updates but haven't left a positive review, it's entirely possible that we won't be able in a couple of months to do anything anymore because simply because we got review bombed, which leads to people not buying the game, which means we're not making any money and we'll have to shut down. I wouldn't ask if our business wouldn't be dependent on it. I also never write reviews on anything, but if you want to see us actually finish Wicked, it's detrimental that we get that review score back up. Now, this this brought up an interesting conversation about leaving reviews on Steam because the developer said that when uh I guess I forgot which game they were talking about, but the developer said that when they first released a certain game that they were working on, it was very early stages and it was very bad and people left bad reviews. But over time, the game has gotten good, but those bad reviews stayed. And because those bad
Mm.
reviews stayed, it caused the was it the overall review score to be overwhelmingly negative or mostly negative to mixed, you know? And when people see those reviews, they're not going to buy the game because the reception is really bad. And so the developer said he got frustrated because, like I said, when the game first came out, it wasn't great, and they left a lot of negative reviews, and people don't go back to fix the reviews because people just don't feel like doing that. So
Yeah.
so it just he was just trying to encourage people to at least either change their reviews or to like leave a positive review to counteract, you know, what like the game isn't the same game as it was when it first came out. Like it's updated, they changed a lot of things and it works a lot better than before. So having all these negative
Which
reviews,
game is this? Because this isn't Ori and the Blind Forest.
I don't
I
think no, they made Ori, but
no,
it's
it's
not.
not them.
I think it's the No Rest for the Wicked.
Okay, no, right. Okay,
I
yeah,
think that's the game. Uh, but yeah, they said that it really does affect how they, you know, make their games. And journalists went crazy with saying that because of toxic gamers review bombing a poor indie studio, an indie studio is going to lose, you know, money and stuff, and it's all the gamers' fault. And it's like, it's kind of interesting because this developer doesn't like game journalists. Like he hates game
Mm-hmm.
journalists, and he just wanted to set the record straight and saying like, no, people aren't review bombing my game. It's just that people have left negative reviews in the past and just haven't changed it to like to to properly represent the game in its
Yeah,
final form right now.
the updated form. Yeah,
And I thought that was pretty interesting because a lot of people talk about like review bombing and people talk speaking like with their wallets and stuff like that, and that could be like a good way for people to uh express customers to express how they feel about a game. But then you have this unique case with a developer where they actually did the work to improve their game, yet they're still not getting the positive reviews back to balance it out. I don't know. Like I don't know if he said that he wants to get rid of people reviewing like leaving reviews on games. I don't think so. He seems very player friendly, but it was just very interesting. It feels like a very unique case in when it comes to like players leaving feedback and how it affects studios, you know? I just thought that was interesting. You took Saib's job, man. Good job, Reeve. What are you talking about? He's still here. He didn't die yet. More that he wants a score for reviews that match and reflect what the game has turned into. Well, yeah. Saib's internet crashed out harder than Reaver did. Shush. Oh, apparently Fallout Cascadia. Is that a new Fallout? Is that a new Fallout game? Or is that like a fan made game? Development build, not final. Saib, are you still here? We're talking about Fallout Cascadia. Saib, come back. Are you there? Saib? Sib!
it's so bad right now. It's
Saib!
coming down in sheets. It's coming.
Can you hear me? I think Steam can do it where the game weighs older reviews differently so that patch notes and updates can be improved. Yeah, after Reeves crash out, Size 5 finds trying to one up her. Wow. Sheesh, I can't have one crash out. God, you guys keep like blaming me or something. Like it's all my fault. Mm, maybe we should just end it here. Because it's getting pretty late. God, we haven't. Okay, so we can leave Fallout Cascadia for later, I guess. And I think we went over most of the other stuff as well. Fallout Miami as well. Uh, uh, okay, there's some stuff we didn't actually go over. Uh, trying to see if oh yeah, apparently someone said Grand Theft Auto someone said Grand Theft Auto 6 will likely involve some sort of criminal activity when it's within its storyline. It's like, no shit. Oh my god. Trying to see if uh apparently Blizzard's Overwatch team just unionized. What I want to protect here is the people. I don't know what that's about. I'm not a big Overwatch fan, so I don't know what that means. People are speculating another a soft crash, gaming crash, whatever that means. Uh, let's see. Already talked about that. I'm trying to like go through all this like really fast. Uh, we can save the Fallout stuff for next week when Cybe has better internet connection. Uh, PlayStation accidentally revealed Stellar Blade's PC release date.
I don't know.
Hello,
Mm-hmm.
are you back?
June 12th, I think.
Oh yeah, not that it matters, but you know, not that it matters because they have the new vote. But what do you think about Fallout Cascadia? Is that fan made?
Cascadia.
God damn it. I just want to know if it's fan made or if it's official. Let's
Yeah,
see.
they're both fan made projects.
Oh, okay. At least that came through. At least that came through. Yeah, and just think next week is a lot of good news. Like, hopefully. That'd be nice. Okay, so Doom the Dark Ages got boycotted because apparently the game released. Ah, okay. Okay, so Fallout Cascadia and Fallout Miami are fan made games. Got it. Awesome. So if you're a big Fallout fan, might want to check those out. Doom the Dark Ages is getting into hot water because I haven't played the game, but I've heard some people said that the game was kind of meh. And not only that, but if you pre-ordered uh Doom the Dark Ages, you were supposed to get like a physical disc copy of the game. But then people found out that the disc is actually not really a physical disc. It's just a key that lets you have access to the game to play it. And you have to be online in order to play it, even though it's a single player game. But you have to be online to access it, to play it. And people were not happy about that. So a lot of people canceled their pre orders, and a lot of people are not happy with the game. I don't know. Is it released on PC? Let me see. Uh, Doom. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, people left positive reviews. I guess it's just that they just canceled their pre-orders. Yeah, it's just nothing. Just got one negative review. The game is fine, you can play it, it runs great, you'll be entertained, but if you're like me and made the mistake of playing Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal before playing Dark Ages, you'll be left feeling underwhelmed at best, frustrated at most. Oh. So I was right. People are like pretty meh about the game. Another flavor of Doom, but definitely not the best flavor. Yeah, people are saying it's pretty meh, but it has a lot of reviews though, so I don't know. It's very positive. People are liking the game, so I don't know. I don't think the boycott really worked that well, but Reeve the Wizard War ended years ago. Stop casting the slow internet spell on the poor man. I'm sorry. Not to mention, I've seen people say the game keep crashing out of nowhere. Even with updated drivers, it kept crashing. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, I don't know. People just aren't happy with Doom Eternal, and that sucks. And they were kind of sneaky with the fake disc thing. So they kind of lost fan support. Well, I wouldn't say fan support. I'm just saying like some fan support. I'm not saying all the fan support. Um. Oh yeah. So, uh, Destiny 2, in order to like get back money for the failed attempt at Marathon, Bungie has sided with branding in order to get revenue. So in Destiny 2, they've done a lot of they're going to do a lot of crossovers with Star Wars, and they're going to do crossovers with D&D. Uh was there another one? I can't remember. I know that the main one is Star Wars. Sorry, I forgot the name. The main one's Star Wars and the other one's D&D. That's as far as I know. Uh, Also, apparently Hideo Kojima announced that he left his staff a USB stick of game ideas to use after he dies. So that's a thing that happened. Apparently, USBs don't last more than 5 years. So, I mean, they can just like put it somewhere else. It doesn't have to stay on the USB drive. They can just make copies of it and put it somewhere else. Okay, stolen art, we already know that. Stolen art, we know that. About Bungie stealing art. Uh, oh yeah, that was we were talking about that. Doom Eternal is ultra successful. ID is like, dude, what if we made it slow as shit and easy as fuck? And Doom 2025 releases is literally the biggest flop of all time. Holy fork! Oh, damn, only 30,000 concurrent players. I don't think. I guess that's good. No, actually, I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good. Oh yeah, Ubisoft is locking games behind certain credit cards. So there was like an update where Ubisoft was like, you can't have access to certain DLC unless you have a Visa card specifically. So Ubisoft is doing that. Good job, Ubisoft. We love it when Ubisoft does things. That's great. It's always in the best interest for the customers when Ubisoft does things. Anyways, yeah, so that's happening. I wanted to get through all the stuff quickly because Sibes' internet's crashing and I'm tired and it's getting late and I have to work tomorrow, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the likes and the follows and the
Thank
subs.
you.
Uh I mean, we can go over the stuff when your internet's better again if you want to, Sib.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now this storm is pretty crazy. So
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate every single one of you. Our socials are down in the descriptions below. Sayonara, Meatball Bat. Sayonara. Everybody, have a good, great day or night wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
bye.
Okay, we did it. Yay!